Imagine not being Leeds, not feeling this pain, not dancing through thunder, not walking through rain. Imagine not rising with fists in the air when the world turned its back and no one would care. We've lived in the ashes, we've drowned in defeat, but still we stand proud on our battered old feet. Imagine not loving with all that you are. Imagine not being Leeds.
We love you, Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.
Now then, everybody, welcome back to Imagine Not Being Leeds. Can you imagine on the 106th birthday of our beautiful club? Happy birthday to Leeds. Happy birthday to Leeds. You are fucking awesome. Happy birthday to Leeds. Welcome back to Late Night Leeds. Now then, boyos, we are back. Guess who's back? Back again. Come on. Football's back. Proper football's back. What a horrendous couple of weeks it's been, boys. But before we get into it, how have you both been doing? Adam, let's come to you. Last 2 weeks, no proper football to talk about. How's the mood in the garden house been? You all right?
Oh, we're all good, thanks, mate. Yeah, a bit bored. I sort of don't quiet, but I don't far off live for Leeds United and Leeds games. I look forward to them all week. Do you know, I look forward to them all week and I get to Saturday morning and think, oh, it's only 90 minutes. So it's going to be over soon. I worry it's going to be over soon before it's even started. I enjoy games so much. And then, so I just miss Leeds United not playing. We're back.
Yeah, like I say, we are back now, mate, and it's a pivotal time, I'd say, in the season, the next 4. But yeah, boss, how's it been in your household, mate? Everything all right with Mrs. and Young'un? All good?
Yeah, nothing really crazy's happened recently, which is how I like it. Yeah, but usually on the international break, I go to non-league, but my situation's changed a bit, so I haven't been able to do that yet. So it's just been flat out boring, mate. It's just been so boring.
How's Town been doing this season?
They're actually doing all right, and by doing all right, that means they're not fighting relegation battle. So, yeah.
Hopefully your 2 clubs aren't fighting relegation battles this season, eh? We'll take that, won't we?
That'd be ideal, yeah.
Are you one of those blokes that when you don't go, they start doing better, boss? Is that what it is? A bit like when Adam goes to a game and he goes to the toilet and we always score when he goes to the toilet. Is it one of them things? When you're not there, they do better?
No, I don't know, because before I started going, there was a division below where they are, so... Yeah,
fair enough.
It's one of those where they got promoted and then kind of just struggled, but yeah, they're doing all right.
Good. We'll take that. So, yeah, before we sort of look, we've got obviously a preview for Burnley to do. We've got some other fun bits. You know, we've got new segment. We've got Defeat the Ladder, which is a new little game in there as well, which we've done, but it's got a nice little segment now. We've got Theo's Thoughts, Star Charts, Mr. Whitesnake's Poem, obviously the preview. But before we get into it, we just want to sort of touch on, obviously, we didn't do a show last week, so we didn't do a review on the Spurs game. What me and Adam Adam treated me and a few others to a lovely hospitality day. Really appreciate that. Loved it to bits, made my class. Don't want to delve too much into that game. It's been 2 weeks ago, but you know, the general feeling going into Burnley, 8 points out of 7 games. Adam, how are you feeling just as a whole so far, without diving too much into personnel? Are you happy with sort of the points total so far for the games we've played?
Yeah. I'm happy. I think the top end of the hopes. I think we're doing really well. Even like losing against Spurs, like it's crap. It's disappointing, but we're so competitive against good sides, sort of okay. So yeah, I feel like want to kick on, and then you get a couple of injuries, so you feel like go the other way, and you're not sure what to expect. But I'm happy with Leeds. I think pre-season I would have took this definitely.
I think that's the way to look at it. I think when we can dissect games, and we have done on here. We've dissected. There's maybe 3 points extra we should probably be on. We should be up there with Sunderland, really. And you can always want more. You can always look at certain moments, but on the whole, if you look at it, over the 7 games, I think 8 points, Boss Nass. It's a solid start. Like I say, it could be more, maybe should be more if we're being super critical. But I think it's a fair assessment would be we're doing okay. We're doing pretty well.
Yeah, I'm quite happy with. Well, there's like a little room between happy and content, and I'm just in that gap. I'm just more than content, yeah, 8 points where we are is pretty good. I wouldn't have predicted to be on 8 points coming out of the international break. That's for certain at the beginning of the season. So I can't say at the beginning of the season, oh, I'd love to be on 8 points and then be disappointed with it. But it is that thing of, yeah, I think we have left a couple of points on the table. But overriding feeling is I'm just happy that we've shown that we're competitive in the league.
Yeah, we knew that, didn't we? Looking at the summer business, that would be. I kind of expected us to be defensively more solid. The midfield, I didn't expect Longstaff to be the sort of main guy at the minute, which I think has been phenomenal. We've seen elements from Stack, but I think the transfer business led to us to sort of think it'd be that sort of side we'd see from Leeds United. I've been surprised that the last few games we look a lot more threatening. We talk about a lack of quality, which is definitely is, and we'll get into later on about the lack of numbers in these areas, which is quite evident now with injuries creeping in, which is just so Leeds. But I've been really impressed of late, the last maybe 3 or 4 games, with our attacking intent, and some of these players who aren't known for flair and creative spark, like a Longstaff. Stack somehow has ended up being that for Leeds United, creating massive a decent amount of chances, one of the best in the division. But I'm really happy to see the flair players that maybe we're missing. Everybody else has stepped up, and we do look a threat, don't we, lads? It's not. I'm not watching Leeds thinking this is boring football. We're going long. The first few games there were a lack of chances created, but we are creating chances now. Your big boss, Nasson Calvert-Lewin, should have more goals, and we'll get into that at some point today, I'm sure. But the chances are being created. Yeah, we need to take more of them. But the fact that we're creating them only 7 games in is a massive positive, isn't it, Adam?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think you say about having more points, but I think we could easily have drawn against Everton. I think 8 points is actually a pretty fair reflection of how we played. And we've been competitive. We haven't run away with games. We were very good against Wolves, very good attacking wise, but we've just been in every single game. So when you're in every single game, gave away. I think the midfield, like you said, optimizes is what we've shown all season: combative, solid. Everything about that midfield, that reflects us. The midfield reflects us. We reflect midfield. I think that's been important all season, and we're set out to be solid. But we are actually more adventurous than the other 2 promoted sides. Like, we press higher, we go forward more, we send more players forward. For me, yeah, but it's a really good period of games coming up. Next 4 games is going to be really important.
It's a weird one though for me, boss. That's, without predicting too much, obviously we'll get into it. But the 4 coming up, I look at and think, oh, they're decent fixtures for us, but 3 are away from home. Like, out of the, you look at the team, you think, but there is something in that, playing away from home. Obviously, getting a point away from home is massive in Premier League. Some of these games need to be 3 points. Looking at maybe the Forest and Burnley, if I got a point in both of them, Boston, I'd probably be quite disappointed. But the fact that away from home does make it a little bit tougher. But it is a tasty little four little games between international breaks for us just to pick up some real momentum.
Yeah, I mean, it depends entirely how you look at it. People could say, look, we're now playing teams that are expected to be in and around us, and that should give us more, hope, and to be more direct and to try and be more dangerous, try and control more of the ball. But then the other side of that is, there could be a pressure aspect to this section of the season. It depends how the management team and the people in and around the squad are framing these games, and whether they've tried to do it by taking pressure off or putting a real importance on it. And it also depends how we approach these games. As in, are we going to approach them as in keep it tight, make sure you don't lose these games, or are we going to go, do you know what, we're going to go out there and we're going to try and create a gap on some of these teams? So it's a big 4 games. 3 of them are away. I think people probably should temper their expectations and then just be joyous if we pick up, a good amount. But I have no qualms in thinking that these are going to be, these games are going to be difficult, very difficult games, because we're looking at teams like this and going, we should be picking up decent points, but they're also looking at us and going, this is a massive game for our season. So it's going to be. It's just really important. These next games are really, really important.
It's
Yeah.
like say you argue, don't you, that any game's important and every point matters and all that, which it does. But you do look at certain fixtures and a certain run of fixtures, and sometimes it can be very unkind to you. Sometimes it can be very kind to you. I think Burnley have had a very unkind start. We all put each other twice. You can't get away from that. But depending on when you play people, it can have a massive effect on momentum you're building. And Burnley have done really well. Like I said, we'll get into preview in a bit. But I'm really happy where we are, lads. And long may it continue. And Farke normally starts slow and builds into a season. So I'm 100% happy with 8 points after 7 games. But let's get into the first proper little segment. So, Boss Nass, are you ready?
Yeah, man.
This is our new game, which we have played in previous weeks. We've got a little, he's done a little segment here. So here we go. This is Defeat the Ladder. You're fucking
Right, people.
so good at that, mate. So good.
I didn't even get 6. I was pulling up the actual quiz. Right, so listen, last week, it was absolutely monumental effort. I was still in shock 15, 20 minutes after the stream finished, how you got them. But look, this one's no easier, right? So for anybody that wasn't here last week, these are the rules of the game. You cannot get 2 questions in a row wrong. If you do, you are being defeated by the ladder. That's pretty much it. The guys have got one lifeline, which is they can ring the group chat. So group chat, be ready. No Googling, right? So that's basically it. It's a 10-question quiz. It's meant to be hard. And essentially, you get 2 questions wrong and you're defeated. Boys, are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Ready.
I'm ready.
Are you ready? You don't look ready. I won't
No,
lie.
I'm so ready. I'm so ready. I don't look ready. That's how ready I am.
You know, like last
I am
week
ready.
started with a question that was supposed to be easy. This week's is starting with a question that's moderately hard. So you kind of know where you're going to be going with this one.
I'm excited
Right,
for this.
people. Joining at home. Right. Question 1 of the ladder. In 1998, 1999, Leeds United finished 4th in the Premier League qualifying for the UEFA Cup. They also set a club record that still stands today for the youngest average starting 11 in a Premier League season. What was the average age of that starting 11 within 2 years? Within
What
2
year?
years.
What year?
1998 to 1999, right? What was the average age of that starting 11? And I'll give you within a 2-year bracket. David O'Leary's babies had youthful players like Woodgate, Hart, Smith and Bowyer.
Oh, average age. Right, Adam. So there's going to be some really youth in there, but there will be some experience to pull it up.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm thinking. Martin, maybe Radaby. So there's gonna be a little bit of experience. Not Radaby particularly old then, probably.
Is 23 too old, do you think?
No, that's the thing. Well, he's given us 2 years, so 23 is a pretty much down the middle shot, I'd say, because he gives you 20. If 23 is wrong, I'll eat Boss Nass's hat.
Surely that gives you a 21, doesn't it? If it can't be less than 20.
It can't be less than 21. That'd be ridiculous. So and it can't be more than 25. So I mean, I'm talking about a 4 year swing here. That's
You are.
So, but
Are you happy with 23?
Yeah, 23.
You have cleared question 1 of the ladder, boys.
Come on.
The answer is 23 years old.
Oh,
exactly.
Get it.
People are going to think this is fixed, man. You know
A lot. Yeah, a lot of 22s in there as well. Just having a look.
Yeah.
23, 24.
Right, boys. Number 2. In the 2000-2001 Champions League, Leeds finished 2nd in their group to Real Madrid. Which Italian club did they beat both home and away in that group?
I think I know it, but
I think this one's fairly easy. I think it's easy.
I don't even remember being in a group with Real Madrid. So
Lazio.
Correct.
Come on. Remember Smithy scoring away. What a right goal. Come on.
Right. Here we go, boys. If you get this nailed again.
What it Lazio as well, because people are putting Milan in chat. Lazio.
Leeds won Lazio 1-0 in Rome and then 3-2 at Elland Road.
It was, yeah. Get it.
Milan was a year later, I think.
Milan, yeah, it's through me then, see Milan, but yeah, well, Lazio, I thought it was.
Right, number 3. Who in 2003 bought Jonathan Woodgate from Leeds and for how much?
Oh shit! Did he go straight to Spurs?
No, I want Spurs. It's either.
Oh, did he go to Newcastle?
It's either Newcastle or Real Madrid, is it not?
I think he went Newcastle. He went Newcastle then because he went Newcastle, Real Madrid, Spurs. I think he might have gone there. It doesn't matter after actually. I think it's Newcastle. Yes, it is Newcastle. Newcastle.
Right.
And for how much?
Oh, now usually
What are
a
these?
number sticks in my head, but nothing sticks in my head here. Have
we got a swing on this?
I'll give you a 1 million swing either way.
Oh, this is like
Adam, I'd say about 12, which is quite a lot, but still not enough. Or is that too much?
I think let's go 11.
11. I think 12, 11. Yeah, 11. 11, Newcastle.
Sorry, boys, it was 9.
Oh, never.
That's so harsh.
Right, boys, in the group chat, listen, they might have to ring you on this next one if they don't know it.
Can I just say to everyone, the lifeline we have, right, is we ring Sean Healy. He's the one that's most likely to answer. And as everyone will know, that is no lifeline whatsoever.
Funny.
Yeah, you've got to ring the full group chat. That's the rules.
He won't be the one that's definitely there.
Yeah,
Right, boys, question 4. When Leeds were relegated from the Premier League, which player scored their final top-flight goal before the 16-year exile?
So we got beat 4-1 at Bolton?
Yeah, Bolton.
Oh, I think I know, but is this a group chat call?
Well, who do you think it is?
I've got a feeling it's Viduka or Smith, but I might not know that.
See, now you've done it. Viduka got sent off, didn't he? I thought it was Viduka. I thought he scored and got sent off.
Boys,
but
go on.
Was Bolton the final game?
I think so.
No. Did we get relegated with 2 games to go? Or 3 games to go?
That's me being very generous to you there, by the way, boys.
So who scored the final goal before we got relegated and had a 16-year exodus?
Yeah.
Right. I'm just going all in for group here, lads. I'm just down because this just adds to dynamic, this, doesn't it? Imagine Not Being Leeds. Here we go. Sorry, let's get this on go. Let's see who answers, chat. Let's see who answers from group chat. You don't get content like this everywhere else, do you? Who's answered first? Who is it? It's young Callum. Callum, this question's no good for you, pal. Bill, maybe. Right, it's going to be really quick. We are live. We're currently live, right? A quick one. I'm going to ask you. Listen, right? When we got relegated, you think it was Viduka? Have you heard it, Cal? Are you even watching? Right, Cal. Right, before we got relegated in what year was it?
2003, 2004.
2003, 2004. So all that long time ago. Who scored the final Premier League goal for us before a 16-year exodus from the Premier League?
When I hear it.
Bill and Callum think Viduka.
Hang on. That's not our final answer.
That's not his final answer yet, but yeah, I don't even know what last game was. I thought it was Viduka or Smith.
Right, last game was Charlton.
Here they are. Callum at top, Bill at bottom. Oh, was it? Oh, he's here. Mr. Healy's here. Have you got out to add, Sean? Have you got out to add? The question is... Oh, they're all coming on now. Right, we're going to make this quick, yeah? People will start turning off, no offence. Right, all turned off. All Priestley's here.
Priestley is one we need.
I want 20 seconds. When we got relegated in 2003, 2004, yeah, who scored our last Premier League goal before we got relegated? No, the first time, Harry. The first time. Right. Nah. Right, that's them all. I love yous. We're taking Priest's answer. Bye, everybody. Take care. I'm taking Priest's answer. He said Alan
Before
Smith.
you do anything.
Wait.
The final game was Charlton.
Charlton. Yeah, I'm going what
I think we won. I think we beat Charlton. I might be
It was a
completely wrong.
3-3 draw.
Okay, that's close then. Right, that's so close to winning.
Honestly, if Priestley tells me out about Leeds United, I go with it.
Mate, Priest is the one we want. Yeah, if Priest says Smith, we go Smith.
He said Alan Smith.
It's Priestley's right.
Come on, Priestley. Get up there. Group chat worked. Get in there, Priestley. A few people have said Smith as well. Smith there. Mike said Smith. Mike said Smith for you. Could have answered group chat call.
Yeah, Mike.
Quality of that.
Right, lads.
Go on.
Number 5, halfway to beating the ladder. Leeds were docked 15 points for financial issues in 2007, 2008. But it wasn't their only points deduction that decade. Which other season did they suffer a points deduction, and how many points was it for?
I can't help you, mate.
Mate, this quiz has got well harder today. It's taking
I
piss.
thought it was the season before, and we got 10.
I'll take it. I'm just going to pass it. Yeah, you've done it. 10 points. I'll
Get in.
because you got what? Because Adam chipped in with it, especially. We'll have that. It was 2004, 2005, 10 points.
Well done.
Right.
Adam. Take that,
Bad
mate.
dude.
There's no more gimmies now, boys. We're getting into the very hard section.
Okay.
We'll get these.
Oh, goody.
Right, boys. In the 2009-2010 League One promotion campaign, Leeds' first choice midfield trio under Simon Grayson usually consisted of 3 players. They all started the famous FA Cup win over Manchester United. I need all 3 of them.
Fucking hell. Well, Johnny Housen's won. This
Yeah.
I'm going to struggle with this. Johnny Housen, right? Let me just say some words without taking as an
All
answer. So you got Housen, right? You've got in my head. You've got Bradley Johnson, Neil Kilkenny, maybe. I'm sort of
You've done
vibing
it.
on.
I'll
Oh
take
my god, as if I've got him. That I'm buzzing with that. The Kilkenny one, I was like, is it? Yeah, get in now. Take that.
Boys, this is ridiculous.
Have you got them
I'm
all?
buzzing
Hang on.
with
Did we
Yeah.
pass that? I didn't even notice.
No,
Yeah.
Kilkenny, Housen, Bradley Johnson. Come on.
In the 2016-2017 Championship season, Leeds finished 7th, narrowly missing the playoffs. Who was the club's top scorer that year with 23 goals in all comps?
It's got to be. Oh no.
No, it's
What,
got.
what year? Sorry.
2016-2017.
Oh, no, that's changed. That's an easy one. He plays for Forest now. Chris Wood.
Yeah, that's why I was going to go straight away, and then I was
Yeah, any
Right,
earlier,
boy.
it's Beckford in it, but yeah.
Guys, you've got 2 expert questions with an extremely difficult one to finish, right?
Yeah.
You have to be an expert to get these right, according to AI, right? During Marcelo Bielsa's tenure, Leeds once fielded 11 different nationalities in a single match day squad. Which competition and season did that occur in?
Read that
This
again.
is
Sorry,
mentally hard. This is
Which
crazy.
Which competition and season?
Yeah.
So we fielded what? Say that again, please.
A team with 11 different nationalities. There was nobody from the same country within the team. There are 2 people from the same country.
Oh my word. I
Well-
wonder if this is like when we had like Ramon Nunes and people like that, you know, like we had
No, Bielsa.
Yeah, remember, mate, Bielsa.
Oh,
Bielsa.
sorry.
So
It's got to have been a cup game, no?
it's got to be Premier League, surely.
You think?
2018, 2009.
Oh no. Okay, that's not going to be.
Right, I've already told you the year, so you've just got to figure out what competition it was in. What competition it was in, and you go to the next question.
So either championship? Championship? Yeah, is that it? Yeah, championship. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Sound.
No. I'm saying we was in the championship at the time.
So it's either a championship game, a League Cup game, or an FA Cup game. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh fucking hell. I don't think it made much difference to Bielsa, did it? Because he just sort of played.
Bielsa
Anyway.
Cup competition would just play whoever. But then
Yeah.
There's going to be a few youth in there, so that would probably rule out them all being different nationalities.
I would have said.
Although maybe we had all the Strauchs, maybe we had them loads of mental. I can't think it was FA.
I reckon championship game.
Yeah, I think championship as well. Wrong or right, because
Yeah, boys, I'm sorry, you're wrong. It was
League
the
Cup.
FA Cup.
Go.
It was the FA Cup shock defeat to QPR. Right, boys, listen.
Really?
You're still in it because you only get beat by a ladder if you get 2 in a row wrong. So you're still in it.
the ladder's very friendly. I like the ladder.
It's a friendly ladder.
Yeah, but you've got no lifeline now. If you don't know this one,
Yeah,
you don't know it.
fine. That's fine.
Can't win it every week.
Name the 3 Leeds United players who scored in the 4-0 away win at Burnley in May 2021. 3
Rodrigo.
players, 4 goals.
Rodrigo scored definitely. I was playing cricket.
I think
away.
Yeah.
It was,
it's so hard because there were so many big wins, weren't there? I remember battling quite a few teams. Yeah, I think Rodrigo's definitely got one or two.
Rodrigo scored a little chip, I think. But then,
Yeah, he did.
Click scored. Click definitely scored against Burnley.
Only one off, boys. You've got two. You just.
I'm torn between Harrison and Alioski, but I don't know if they're. I'm torn with them too.
I was
one of them.
Alioski.
It's one of them.
I thought it was Alioski.
Alioski.
I'm sorry, boys. You failed the ladder this week.
Oh,
it was
Harrison.
Jack Harrison.
Oh, never. Oh, you bastard.
The good news is you get another go next week.
Oh, we do. Is that it? Seriously, is that it done?
You failed, yeah. Do you want the last question? Just
yeah,
for the
do
bank?
last question. Do last question.
Oh,
This is solid, boy. Well, maybe between 1998 and 2025, yeah, Leeds have had two full international goalkeepers who's had 20 plus caps for their country. Who are they?
Martin and Sullivan.
I think this is solid because I feel like it's a trick question.
Kasper Schmeichel is one of them. Played one season at Leeds. He's had more than 20 for Denmark now.
And Robinson, surely as well. Surely he got more than caps than.
No, whilst on 20 caps whilst on the club's books.
Oh,
okay.
right, bloody hell,
Okay. Darlow. Hang on, what year are we going to?
It's 1998 to 2025.
Darlow?
How long do you think Darlow's been here, mate, to get 20
I don't know. 15 years.
Nigel Martin's got to have one.
That's one.
He's the one I ruled out, man. Darlow's not been here long enough.
Oh, no. How long have Paddy Kenny at our place?
What?
Did he play for Ireland, no? Paddy Kenny.
I feel like this is a trick. I think you won't be happy with this question because I wouldn't have got it just because of the way the question is.
Lonergan?
I'll take one more answer before it's a fail, boys.
Oh, Lonergan's a good shout.
I think Robinson.
It's not. No. It's not. Cause, and this is what would have tripped me up. Under 21 is classed as a cap, international cap.
It's gonna be Carson. No, Carson's before that. Hang on, let me talk about
Right, I was thinking about it. If under 21 caps count as a cap, who else has been here for fucking ages?
Melier. No, he didn't play.
Oh my god. Oh, I right enjoyed that boss dash, but that was defeat the ladder. And it was a big game over. Oh, boss dash, I love that. I tell you what, there's no consistency in levels, mate. You went from being like, come on, to being fuck off. Solid, mate. That were like 10 of the ultimate, the last question for 10 questions, mate. That would have.
Yeah, that was tough.
I absolutely love that segment, by the way. I absolutely love that. I hope everyone in chat enjoyed it as well. Let us know in chat if you love it or boss.
Yeah, that's quite important because we enjoy it. I'm not sure anyone. I'm not sure it makes good viewing.
Let us know. Well, viewing didn't go down; it went up, if anything. So surely that meant everyone enjoyed it. I really enjoy it.
That's brilliant.
It needs something like that. Does a show like this? So I love that. Yeah, cheers, boss. That's just so anyone knows it. Chat as well. I am starring certain chats, so if I don't bring your chat on screen, don't think I'm ignoring because I'm not. Yeah, the snakes have failed again. But here we won last week. But yeah, just so you know as well, Boss Nass has recorded a video with Priestley tonight. Flowers or Showers. That went out tomorrow, Boss Nass?
It'll be out tomorrow morning, but don't watch it around. Don't whatever you do, don't put it on in your living room if you're with grandparents or kids or anything like that.
Oh god, yeah. Well, make sure you watch it anyway. I'll be shouting his channel out at the end. A lot of fun, great. Yeah, nice little segment. A few people saying that, Brett. Enjoy the ladder, says Dave. Can't remember my name most days, so would be crap at it, but enjoyed it. Hey up, baby, all right? The missus has just come in after having a curry with her sister and been to see a clairvoyant. So,
what curry did she have?
What curry did you have? Chicken korma.
Oh, brave.
Apparently, it's already gone through her as well. She just ran past me.
Already gone through? It's a bit like a milk.
Can we have a multiple choice next week, says Paul? I think we need it. Great quiz, boss. That's. Yeah, I agree. Right then, moving on. So before we get into preview and other bits, this week. So this week's. Yeah, maybe we need to. This week's Theo's thoughts. So I did this in the car, so it's a little bit noise, bit of background noise, but yeah, this is this week's Theo's thoughts. welcome to this week's Theo's Thoughts. Bit of a weird one, because for some reason he thinks he can speak in a Scottish accent. So I've asked him to do the full video in a Scottish accent. So, how are you doing today, Theo?
Good.
Right, where are we going now, mate?
Look, Hailing Academy.
Oh, you crack me up, kid. And why are we going there?
Touch line.
To train, because that's all I do. Drive you from training place to training place. Are you going to be a rich and famous footballer?
Yes.
And are you going to look after your dad in his old age?
Nah.
You're not going to buy me a new house?
Nah.
New car?
Nah.
Caravan?
You're gonna live in a dumpster.
Anyways, where's this Scottish accent come from?
My brain soul.
That wasn't very Scottish, try again.
My brain soul.
Give me your favourite sentence to say in Scottish.
If I lived in Scotland, I'd live in a bush. If I lived in a bush, I'd live in a duck.
Leeds play Burnley tomorrow, you absolute lunatic. What's the score going to be?
2-1. Oh,
Scottish accent.
so long.
2-1 to who?
Leeds.
To Leeds. And who's going to score?
Okafor.
He's out injured, try again. Ramazani? Hey, you know he's left. Anyway, 2-1, we'll take it. Theo, what's another word for Trump?
Fourth.
Honestly, the kid just cracks me up. He just absolutely cracks me up.
That.
It wasn't the best. It wasn't very productive, but he was excited because he were going training. And he just said, Dad, just give me the phone and just ask me some questions and I'll just do it in a Scottish accent, which turns out was Scouse. But yeah.
I don't know if it was.
No, I didn't think
yeah, maybe not. A touch of Scouse, a touch of just I ain't got a clue what's going on.
It was noises.
Yeah, it was definitely noises, but he's a funny lad, and yeah, I
He
quite
is,
like
yeah.
it. I quite like him doing his little bit.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
God, see where he gets it from, can't you? Absolute nut job. Right then, let's get into the meats and bones of the talking point this week. And I've noticed, Adam, you put the badges wrong way down, but it is what it is. It's a preview for Leeds v Burnley. Adam's face. He's fuming with himself. I noticed it. Then I thought, ah, shit. You can't do everything right, Adam. You know, you can't. You failed on quiz. You know, you got badges wrong.
I think we found the quiz because you just started running your mouth, shouting answers out, and Boston has had to take them just to stop. And then we lost.
I saw Sean Healy's face this close up at 10:30 on a Friday night. I didn't expect it to go that way.
No one expects that.
It threw me.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I understand that.
I'm only human. Scoutish. That's what he spoke. Scoutish. Brilliant segment, lads. Cheers, man. Absolutely love it. Funny kid. Right then. So a few predictions coming in already. Harry says 3-1 Leeds. Oof, I would love that. That's what I said as well before a few bits.
The team's right around, Harry.
Yeah, it's 3-1. It's a home game now. It's just like that. It's switched to home game now. So you haven't got to travel too far. Don't go to Turf Moor. It's actually Ellen Road, folks. But yeah, thought you would have waited. It's the right way in the mirror. There you go. But yeah, so massive game, boys. It's an absolute humongous game. I've said a few times this week. It's a bit of a weird one because it's not a game that excites me. Playing Burnley in the Premier League, I don't really give a shit about the Burnleys. You know, the Tottenham game we lost, the Bournemouth game that we had heartbreaking. They're the sort of games that get me excited about being in Premier League, watching really good opposition against our boys. But this is a huge game. You know, this feels massive. It feels huge. The term 6 pointers and all that. You know, is it too early for it to be a must win? I aren't too sure it is because ultimately there's only a pocket of or a handful of teams, lads, who we should be getting points against, and there ain't many. And this is one of them. And you know, we didn't beat these last season. We didn't even score against these last season. And I know it's a different Burnley. But yeah, it's a huge game, isn't it, Adam? It's a hugely important game for us.
Huge game. I don't think it's 6 points. I don't think it's a must win. I think our seasons defined over these little segments of games, these 3-4 games. I think they're really important. Burnley are quite dreadful. All underlying stats. I think they're averaging 35% possession this year. They're not high pressing. They've had one clean sheet all season. They are there to be got at. They're there to be beaten. There's no doubt about that. I think they will finish 20th in the league. And on those bases, yeah, absolutely. We need to go there. Need to not lose, obviously, but yeah, I mean, we should beat them. We should win, regardless of a few injuries. But so I think they're there to be taken. But yeah, I don't think it's must win for me.
You don't.
No, I don't. I think it's to find because you win this game, you lose your next 3. You know, like you lose this game and win the next two. Like I think we're so combative and it's so competitive in every single game. I don't think we're going to run a steamroll anyone. And I don't think anyone's going to steamroll us. So I think in that, if we were losing the game 3-4-0 and win the games we're supposed to win, yeah, this would be a must win. But I think everything's so close that I don't think one game defines us at the moment. Which is quite nice because I'm seeing lots of trends in the way we play football and how combative we are and how competitive we are in every single game. So I don't think this is a must win, regardless of it them being them and them down the bottom of the table, that sort of thing. No.
But that's you having an air of confidence about what you're seeing and how you're feeling about the side.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Losing to teams like Burnley, it'll soon make that confidence start to deteriorate, and then
I agree. I agree if we lose 3-4-0, but that's not going to happen. They might scrape a 2-1 or something, and then quickly it turns around. We've seen it in the past with Leeds, lots of Bielsa sides, Farke sides. We can lose games of football and bounce back. We've been really good at bouncing back this season, even conceding goals. We've scored pretty quickly most of the time as well. Straight away, we've bounced back. So I think we're quite strong mentally as well. I don't think one game's going to rock us. I think, like Boston said earlier, it depends how if Farke's going to build this up or play it down. I think he'll just build it into this one single game. He'll just keep breaking it into those segments, individual games in terms of this. And if you lose it, 1-0, 2-1, it happens. Obviously, I'd much rather win, of course, but I don't think it's a must win. I don't think it's a 6-pointer. I don't.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with it. Must win, like you say, we could lose this and go beat West Ham, and then, it's still decent. You can still get some good points out of these four, but it makes things a lot easier. I'm sort of looking at, what we're 4 points in front of them currently. 4 points in front of them. Win on Saturday, Boston that stretches it to 7. It seems huge because there aren't many sides below us, but we've got three of the next 4 are below us currently, and to try and make that gap, it could end up being just a 1 point gap. Boston has come end of it, or it could end up being 7. That's why I feel it's one of those. It's not just about getting the 3 points for us. It's sort of a relegation rival, keeping them below us and stretching that gap on them. And I think that's why it feels more important to me personally, Bud.
Yeah, I think I kind of see what Adam's saying. I see what you're saying. For me, these are the games in a season against, fellow promoted teams that, bear in mind, you've still got a lot of people that will still say at this point of the season that the ones that came up will go down. Some people will still say that, do you know? And for me, when you're playing a promoted team along with yourself, that you've got to go out and win that game. For me,
I think so.
You've at least got to go into that game with the game plan of going to win the game. I don't foresee any. I don't think Scott Parker will set his team up for a draw. I don't expect Daniel Farke to set his team up for a draw. I think the Burnley will come out in a 4-3-3, and I think we'll do the same. And people are saying, expecting this to be a boring game. I couldn't agree less than that. I don't think it's going to be a boring game at all. I think it's going to be an open, fast-paced game of football. I think it's going to shock a lot of people because Burnley are going to be coming out there. Because you've got to look at it from the Burnley fans' point of view. If you're not beating Leeds at home, you've already lost to Sunderland, right? If you're not beating Leeds at home, that's a pretty bad forecast for the rest of your season, really. And then, like what you said, like the difference between being 1 point behind the Leeds and 7 points behind the Leeds in the Premier League is just massive.
Yeah.
So
that could be unsurmountable, that couldn't it? I know there's a long way to go, but for Burnley to bridge the gap of 7 to Leeds, that could be unsurmountable. That could be one team below us now, foreseeable.
Exactly. So I place a lot of importance on this game. There is that aspect where you can say it's too early in the season. I think Leeds will pick up points in bunches this year. I think we've done well in the first section of the season, and we'll pick up points in bunch. I don't expect us to carry on with this points per game ratio all the way through the season. I don't see it happening. I think we will go through a barren spell. I also think that we're going to have problems with injuries at some points in the season. I think that's to be expected. And, I do feel like the squad's a little bit paper thin once you get beneath the first 11. So for me, when you've got, I know we'll be missing Okafor, but when you've got the majority of your squad, we don't know if Dan James, he might play some minutes, but we've got the players currently to go out there and beat this team on the basis of having better quality players. So you've got to go out and do that for me. I don't want. So for me, yeah, very important game, really important game.
Yeah,
I expect us to win. Some people are seen focusing on other teams, but in the Premier League, nice thing about it is what we do know is if we can get to 42 points, we'll be safe. Like, so I'm not really worried about gaps for other sides and what other sides do. We can't just worry about ourselves. And as Boston said, this point per game tracker, I don't really like that. We're going to have to get ahead of it at some stage because we're going to go through a period where we'll probably lose 3 games in a row. It's just going to happen. So I don't really like this idea of always being there or thereabouts and keep checking on it. I think you've got to take every game on merit. Now, so like, Spurs wasn't a must-win game, but this is a must-win game. And Boston said there's a psyche behind it. Absolutely, they're another promoted side. There's something in that. But actually, I think I can be quite zen about it and just worry about us, which is quite nice. Now, let's not say as well, if we lose tomorrow, I'll probably be moaning about everything, same as everyone else. And by the way, we should beat them. We should beat them.
You're saying it's not a must-win, Adam, but would you agree that, like, over the next 2, we need a win? It's a must-win out of the next 2. I think if we lose to Burnley or draw, you need to go beat West Ham, though. Do you know what I mean? That's why I think
the really hard run of games in December. Like, we need to pick up points. I don't think this is necessarily a must-win. I thought Wolves was a must-win, oddly, because I thought the position we were in and people started questioning Farke. I think we're in a nice position now where people aren't necessarily questioning every player, every mistake, or Farke and every mistake.
There will be after this game. There will be. If we don't win this game, mate, it'll soon turn again.
Yeah, no, it will. But I think that's the people looking to turn rather than thinking they must turn and we can get much better. I think there's an element of that. But I think Farke's amazing, but I think he's doing a very good job this year. I don't think you could really argue about that at the moment. Well, you can if you want. But it's just not a must-win because I'm only focused on Leeds United, which is quite a nice place to be. And I say I'm not worried about what Sunderland are doing. I'm worried about what Burnley are doing. Because in the Premier League, you get 42, 43 points, you're safe. And I think that will definitely be the case this season. No doubt about that. I think teams will get more points. I don't think we're looking at Southampton 12 points. No,
I don't.
But Burnley might get 24, 25, but I think everyone else will be in the 30s. So it is a little bit tougher. But yeah, I think also what's surprised by the way this season is I think we can go to Chelsea and get points or a point. I think we can go to Notts Forest, get a point. Well, Nottingham Forest. Bournemouth, we can get a point. Fulham, obviously we lost to Fulham, but I don't actually. We are so competitive and so combative that I think we can get points in lots of games where pre-season I would have written off a lot of games as well. So actually, it's more positive because we've been better than I thought we were. I think I'm not as worried about tomorrow. But by the way, as well, I say underline the whole thing. All shit aside, let's just go and beat them. Let's just simplify.
I agree. I think the term must win. You can be critical of that term because I could say now because I feel like it's a game we need to win. But when you say the term must win, that's saying if we don't win, the season's gone to shit. But if we don't win, come 5 o'clock tomorrow, we all start then looking at West Ham and going right. Well, if we just beat West, so Notes ever must win until if you lose, you go down. Do you know what I mean? So it's never a must win until mathematically that we're needed. So there's still so many points to go, but it does feel like a must win for me. I mean, we haven't won it we haven't won in the last. It has that feel of anything other than a win, and it'll start to turn. I mean, let's be fair, lads, right? Going into the Wolves game, I was of the mindset, and I said it numerous times on my channel. It was a bit of a negative week, as you saw yourself, and 1-0 down, stood there at Molineux thinking, we don't win this. It's going to start the murmurs of is Farke good enough is just going to end up being like louder than anyone would have been comfortable with that early. All of a sudden, if you lose to Burnley, then West Ham, which right now with the form we're playing in, I'm feeling quite confident. I'm thinking we could maybe we win the next 2. Lose to Burnley, all of a sudden West Ham at home, you go a goal down there, the toxicity comes back in. Then you look at it, then you go, you've got Forest and you've got Brighton, then Forest, and then you go into another international break, which is a perfect time to change your manager. All of a sudden, it just goes from being this massive high of being, we're doing really well here, even though we're 15th, we're doing really well. All of a sudden, in a couple of weeks, boys, it can just flip, and we've seen it so many times. And that's why Bosnas, it's not a must-win in terms of if we don't win, it all goes to shit. But if we don't win, it can quite easily just snowball into some shit. And that's what I'm worried about. I want to try and keep this air of positivity around. And as much as Adam says it's not a must-win, because it's Burnley, this for anybody else, it maybe won't. Because it's Burnley, it will. You can imagine the comments if we get beat tomorrow, buddy. You can imagine the feel of the fan base. It will be very triggering very quickly, pal, and that's my worry.
Yeah, and look, Burnley have some good players. I've always been a fan of Dubravka that they've got in there. I think he's a really good goalkeeper.
Very good.
it's one of those where you want to stay ahead of the storm. You always want to be a few steps in front of that storm that's going off down at the bottom of the table, because I've always said momentum is a huge thing in sport.
Good or bad, yeah.
If we've got West Ham coming up, and if they was under Graham Potter still, I'd be so much more confident for that game. But now they'll be going into more of a positive moment now with Nuno. Wolves picked up a point the other day. They're starting to believe that they can do something. Burnley likewise will be looking at this and going, we do want to be 1 point behind Leeds.
Yeah.
And so like, people use the word narrative sometimes wrongly, in my opinion. The narrative is storytelling, really. So, like, this is the story of this year, and we don't want to be part of the story of the team struggling at the bottom. So it is important to stay ahead of that, and to do that, you've got to beat teams like Burnley. You can't. There's no point in chucking candy floss around the subject. If you want to stay in this league, you've got to beat teams like Burnley. You've got to beat teams like West Ham. You've got to do it. So for me, it's a case of go there, go to win. You've got the better players. I would argue that we definitely have the better coach against Burnley in Scott Parker.
Yeah.
And if it's another nail, it's another real hammer blow to them if they don't get anything out of this game. And I'm not one for celebrating in other people's dismay unless it's a rival team, but you do want to deal those hammer blows out to teams like Burnley and Wolves and West Ham at this stage of the season.
I agree. So my statement would be, I feel we finish above Burnley this season. If we make that a 7-point gap, for me, that they won't bridge that gap. They will never be above Leeds this season, in my opinion. If we have a 7-point gap this early, that won't change. So that's one team gone for me. That's one team we don't have to sort of worry about too much. They're in the rear view mirror. That's how I feel. I don't see over 30 games Burnley getting 7 points more than Leeds. I just don't see it. So for me, that's one team who will finish below us. There's 2 more to go. So that's why I view this, really big game, because being 1 point in front of Burnley after 8 sounds very woeful. And all of a sudden, we're flirting with relegation zone then, which we don't want to be going into.
It's harder to get out, mate. It's like the relegation zone. Genuinely,
yeah.
Psychologically, it's quick. It's quick.
I agree.
Yeah, because of the media and everything around the Premier League, it's an interesting debate, actually. The point of keeping them down as well. It's an interesting part of the psychology. Is it because even getting to the nuance of the English language, must win. I'm not going to bore people with that, but like must win. None of us really believe it's a must win, but it's a must win. But absolutely keeping Burnley down. The psychology of it is quite important, because you say once you slip into that relegation zone, the media around, if we lose to Burnley, will be painful. It'd be painful.
Yeah.
Like, because everyone, as Boz said, 2 promoted clubs. If Leeds lose and Burnley 1 point behind us, I think if Burnley 1 point behind us, they still never probably catch us. They might go ahead. We'll still finish the season above them. I'm not worried about that at all. So if in that instance, it's just another 3 points, and there's lots of 3 points on offer. But as Boz said, it's more of a well, I'm not putting words in your mouth. More the psychology around it and the psyche. And if you do slip into that bottom 3. That's like us as fans, like every time we see anything that reminds us of something bad that's happened, we think it's going to keep happening. That's like any as human beings. So you want to see a solid team. You want to keep being solid. You want to keep winning games of football. Regularly winning games of football is crucial. And these 4 games are really important, because the games after that, I think in the next 4 after that, we've got Chelsea, Liverpool, and Man City in those 4. It's a really tough run of games. That's why Boss said about tracking this point of game thing. All well and good until you get to that point, you lose 4 out of 4, and then you suddenly slip below it, and then you might never catch it up again. So but I say that one-off game, because must win, just doesn't work for me. But I get it all, and we should win that game of football, and it's a really big game of football, and obviously I do hope we win that game of football, and I think we should.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's a must try to win by Aiden there. That's where I'm sort of at with it. We saw last season. I know it's 2 different sides. To a degree, new players, etc. But we saw last season, neither coach went for that game. It was the worst game of football I've seen in a long time at Turf Moor, 0-0. It was horrible. I do think, I do actually agree with Boston. I think it'll be a bit more open tomorrow. Don't feel it's mad because I'm saying it's a must win and all that, but I don't feel like there's as much riding on it. Maybe towards like the end of last season, both try to get promoted. I sort of understand it. This season, it's still early in the season. Both teams should go for it. And, we're looking at Burnley thinking it's a must-win. Some people are, it's a game we should be winning. Like Boston said, they'll be looking at it thinking, this for them at home is probably their easiest fixture. them and Sunderland. You know, they beat Sunderland comfortably 2-0 at home, boys. You know, a draw against Forest. They beat Sunderland 2-0 and they lost it in the 95th minute to Liverpool. At home, pretty good form that for the sides of face there. I know we can say Fulham but Sunderland have had a good start to the season. Forest on the day, they've been ropey this season so far, but that's a tricky 3 games to be fair. And they picked up 4 points out of them, Boss Nass, so they're not to be sniffed at. Jaden Anthony on four goals. He's been rejuvenated this season. He's in form, so it's a game they'll be looking at, thinking the exact same as us. So I agree, it should play into it being quite a good game of football. I watched, you know, it should be.
I think so, because for me, Burnley being at home, they've got the crowd behind them. So the crowd won't allow them to stand off Leeds. They'll expect them to be dictating the tempo of the game, which means when we get the ball, I expect them to press, which opens up space for us. It's a bit like, do you know when we played Tottenham the other week? And because we was at home, you know, you're expected to press the ball to try and get possession back and then progress the ball up the field. What we ended up doing was we ended up leaving pockets of space in between the lines, which then Tottenham found it quite, I don't want to say easy, but they didn't find it difficult to find the space in between the lines and then play football that way. I expect that I would say we're the Tottenham in this situation, where they're going to be pressurised by the crowd to put pressure on the ball. So then when we do pick up the ball, we should have some space to play into. So I think it's got all the ingredients to be like an end-to-end game of football. I think it'll shock a lot of people.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope it's a good game of football to watch. I don't want a ball fest like that. But I'd like to get into AJ's team lineup, what he thinks it'll happen, because I think there's quite a lot to talk about from the AJ. Go on, AJ. Ding dong. But yeah, I'm going to get with your team because there's a lot to talk about, you know, with the press conference yesterday, Okafor being out and etc. So we'll have a look at your lineup and we'll dissect the injuries and stuff. So, AG, talk us through your lineup.
See Burnley on the left there because they're at home. Then it's Leeds United as the second badge. And then underneath it says Turf Moor, if anyone's confused. It's boring the life out of me a little bit, this, because I don't think, I mean, I bought Bijou in, I think it's sort of the perfect time. If Farke's going to make a change, if he likes Bijou, if he likes what he sees of him, I think he'll bring him in. If he doesn't, then I think we've got a bigger problem. And I think if he keeps Strauching, because the 4 goals in the last 2 games, Strauch could be blamed for a couple of them potentially. I think it's the time to bring him in. Midfield 3 picks himself. And then the worst combined wingers, I mean, this is like the Champions League days. We had like Gary Kelly on the right wing and Wilcox on the left, or whatever it was. Wilcox quite a good player actually. But yeah, Aronson Harrison, tired Aronson after flying around the world, who's done pretty well to be fair. But he does pretty well because Okafor's such an outlet. I think he sort of gets cut some slack. It works as a 2. I still expect that team to go and beat Burnley. But yeah, attacking threat, there's not a whole heap there in terms of there's not a player in that team other than probably Bogle who can beat a man. And that's usually a bit of a problem. But I think we can outrun them, we can outwork them, we can be more combative than them, we can go direct, we can play off DCL. So there's lots of positives there. But yeah, I think I am I'm not worried, but I don't look at that team and go, there's no excitement there.
No, they're in. Like, you look for a creative spark. There isn't a creative spark. There's a lot of people there who can do a job, and if they do the job well, can be impactful for us getting 3 points. But I just want to throw a bit. Could we see a massive curveball?
No.
Here? Look at this here, right?
Do you know what?
Everybody's clambering for Biol to play out there. Everybody's saying Biol to play, right? Is this a game where, you know, for us to play a 3-5-2, you've got to get rid of your wingers? We've got too many wingers, you know. Okafor, you can't. Not in this game. We haven't got too many wingers. You know, Aronson who's jet lagged. Harrison, who is he the guy? People are saying Pirro. It looked sharp against Tottenham when he came on. He can't play instead of DCL. Is this the game where maybe we go with 3 at the back, push Bogle and Goodmanson a little bit further forward, get Pirro on up there with DCL? Could it be a massive curveball that he throws something out there, totally outlandish, but it fits potentially for the personnel we've got this week, lads?
That's exactly what I was going to do, but then I thought there's absolutely no point because he's not going to do it.
Well, I don't think he will, but is it? Could you see there being a good reason to do that this week?
I think if you're going to do it, you've had the perfect opportunity to think about it. You've had international break to kind of put it together. But
Yeah.
I'm with AG. I don't see him doing it. And when I look at that, do you know what worries me the most is when you lose one key player like Okafor, and then you see that. Do you know that really does bring it home to roost? You know, because when the creativity with Aronson and Harrison, and you never know, like Harrison could bag an absolute wonder goal. You never know. He has got it in his locker, but you just don't see it very often. But yeah, I think you've got to find a way to get Tanaka into that team. So you got to, for me, because you need some kind of creativity.
Yeah, it's a difficult one with Tanaka, isn't it? Because I think he's got a massive role to play this season, but he's going to have to bide his time. Unfortunately,
I would like to see a 5. I would like to see a 5
Yeah,
because
so would I.
you know you do want you actual attacking threat would more likely come from Bogle and Goodmanson if they was given the license.
I mean, I've got I think a Sunderland fan here. Obviously, it will be. This is the worst attack in the league. I think on paper, it's hard to disagree with that, lads. On paper, that looks horrendous as a 3 on paper, but in reality, I think DCL's a lot better than a lot of people are giving him credit for, especially outside the club that aren't watching the games and just seeing his underlying stats of 1 goal in 5. And I know you're big on that, Bostas, but I think he brings a lot more than what people think.
Yeah,
I
think Wilson Isidor's a better player than DCL. I'll put it out there. I
Oh,
don't care. I'll say
oh,
he's a better natural goal scorer than Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and I will say that with chest.
He went through bad spells as well, though, didn't he? When 8 games.
But would you take him over DCL for our needs?
Not in this system. Not in this system.
Well, shut up then.
No, but DCL's got to finish his dinner, man. Otherwise, if he doesn't,
especially in this game, do you know what it is, Boss? As well in this game, right? You look at it, don't you? Looking at that side, there's definitely a lack of quality there, right? We're sitting against Bournemouth. I think we had 15, 16 shots at Bournemouth, which is deep, really good against the top side. There's an argument that we don't get that many away at Turf Moor. You know, let's be fair. He's had a lot of chances, per game. He's had 2 or 3, 4, 5 in some to finish his dinner. He might only get 1 or 2. So that clinical edge that he's lacking, I think in this one he needs to put one away because he ain't going to have that many, Boston. I don't think it might be an end-to-end game. It might be. He ain't going to get that many with that service, in my opinion.
I haven't watched him enough. The sample size of DCL the Leeds show, I ain't seen enough to be able to plant my flag and say, I expect this. I expect A, B, and C from DCL. But what I will say is what I've seen from him up to now is a profligacy in front of goal. He does mess up chances and he misses good chances. So he's just got to be more clinical. He has to be more, especially in this team.
He's got no composure, isn't he?
Can anyone clarify this? Can you have a quick look, AG? Apparently, Popey has done an update on Okafor and said a few people have mentioned now. Christopher has, and someone else put it in earlier.
The problem is, it's Pope in it who said that.
James
Pope
is
6 years.
Pope is a bit hit and miss, but I usually believe what Fabrizio says. But yeah,
this is the problem, though, Matty. Right, and I am bringing up. Well, if you switch out Harrison for Okafor there in that team. Right. By how much though? By a lot.
Mate, I'm looking at that thinking we may scrape it. All of a sudden you put Okafor in there and I'm thinking, I fancy his chances to bury him. I fancy literally that one player. It goes from being this will be tough to I think we'll put 3 past them. It really does it because as chance as creation, it just goes through a window. So with having that one change in that team, it just goes up tenfold, doesn't it?
As I say, there's no one in the team can beat a man. That's quite an important premise of football. That if someone's sitting in a low block, if you can go past someone, if teams feel the need to double up on a player, you're laughing because someone else is free. You can make that work for your advantage. But we haven't got anyone. There's no one you'd bother doubling up on there. Like, I know player teams do anyway, but you can sort of have not only the other guy because you haven't got to go, we'll both go and block Harrison off in case he kicks it off the pitch in a second. Like, it's not really a threat. And I think Okafor does do that. He can beat a man. He's a threat. He's direct. He's probably the best striker in our squad, by the way, as Bosnas said, pretty much alluded to before. And having him central would be in a 3-5-2 with Okafor and DCL up front. Now that'd be quite interesting. That'd be really interesting. But right now, 3-5-2. By the way, going back to that, I was thinking about that, and I thought I could just put it down, and I could make an argument for it, and I think everyone would just agree with it, and then nearly everyone would say, yeah, but Farke's not going to do it. So that's why I didn't do it. But this team, I say, it lacks the spark. Of course it does. But there's enough let's beat Burnley still.
What I will be saying is, if Okafor does have abductor issues, you don't risk him in a game against Burnley, because you can win a game against Burnley without him.
I agree.
Now, if you're forced to play him because you're scared that you don't have the creativity, and then he's out for 2-3 months, that is a massive, massive, massive error.
And there's got to be some issue, haven't there, lads? There's got to be some issue, clearly, because we've seen him in press conference speak about it. Then he's come out and said that's Fabrizio. So even if he plays tomorrow, like you say, it's a risk, because there is an issue there with the adductor, 100%. So is he going to be in the squad? Is he going to be on the bench there if needed, if desperate? With 20 minutes to go, maybe, because you look at you play Aronson and Harrison. You've got a Dan James who isn't fit, also, fit enough to start. Is he fit enough to play? I assume he comes under that bracket again of I'd rather not risk. But they have to put another winger on bench, because ultimately, if they don't have James and they don't have Okafor at bench, who's coming on in a sort of attacking capacity to change the game? Nobody.
This is why the back three works as well. Gudmundsson and Bogle are probably better attacking threats than Aronson and Harrison for me. So get them forward. And then also, one way we can score a goal is corners, free kicks, set pieces, etc. So Bijol, Strauch, and Rodon are all on the pitch. I think that helps.
Great point, Adam.
So actually, there's more chance of scoring goals with 3 centre backs and just picking randomers. Randomers not fair. Picking. I shouldn't call them randomers. Harrison the randomer. Picking Harrison, who's not going to. Aronson and Harrison play a full season. They'll get less than 5 G&A between them.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's easy just to sort of look at the the formation we play week in, week out and go, right, well, Harrison's got to play and Aronson's got to play on the other side. I get that. But there's got to be a conversation there, what even Farke's having with his coaching staff. There's got to be where you're sort of getting forced or funneled into maybe having to change that formation just based on who's available this week. And it is a good way of getting Biol back in the side. I don't want Strauch to come out for Biol. I don't think he will, for the fact that Strauch's been around the gaff for the last 2 weeks. Biol's been away playing minutes. So yeah, as good as it is that Biol's got minutes and he's coming in, warm, he's still not been at the club. So he's still been up in Daniel Farke's grill every day as Strauch, and he listening to instructions, being able to do the finer deal for Burnley. So I don't think if it stays a 4-3-3, I don't think Biol comes back in anyway. I think Strauch stays in for that reason and that reason alone. But with the lack of depth on the wing, it may be a good opportunity to play that formation. And I personally think this, even like you say, even when you look at the actual opponent, I think it's a perfect time to switch it up a little bit. Basically, because his hands are tied a bit, aren't they?
I think there's like 0.1. There's like 1 in 1,000 chance, 1 in 1,000 chance of Farke going free at the back. There's a bigger chance if he's going to change something of bringing Tanaka in, playing a diamond in midfield with Tanaka as the advanced one, and Perot and DCL up front, and then that releases Bogle and Gudmundsson still. By having that diamond in midfield, having those 3 centre backs plus Tanaka in there, or 3 centre midfield, plus Tanaka.
Yeah,
so there's more chance of that. I think sort of a less, more set out like this, and all you're doing is releasing the fullbacks than the 3 at the back, and that would shock me a lot less. That I'd be a little bit surprised, but I wouldn't be shocked if Farke did that.
The good thing about a diamond is in its basic elements, it's a 4-4-2. So
yes, when
you're on the ball, you can play that diamond, and as soon as you lose it, you can go to a flat 4.
Absolutely.
But he's not going to do that, man. This will be the team, except Strauch will be in there for.
You're absolutely right. How simple is that to go from a diamond to go 4-4-2? That's your mid block, your 4-4-2 straight away. It's really, really simple. You get goal scoring pro on the pitch. You get Tanaka on the pitch that's creative. You release your fullbacks, and that midfield bet, if it's been coached, the closer the bet is the diamond, and that's the one I wouldn't be completely shocked if Farke went with. But as you say, boss, that's almost certainly not.
It is mad though, isn't it? I mean, Harrison has looked okay when he's had minutes this season, but like you said, look, the Stone Priest here with Harrison on the left. I'll take a point right now. You do literally have that feeling, don't you, boss? That's where just seeing him, as a possibility on that lineup, if he does play over Okafor, it does significantly reduce his chances. And the feel good factor bouncing into the game is a little bit flat going into this one for me, and a little bit more nervy than I wanted. It just comes back to recruitment, doesn't it, pal? It doesn't take much of an injury sort of crisis. I mean,
No.
we tend to get unlucky us though, mate. We tend to get same position or similar position, 2 injuries at once. We see it with midfielders.
Sometimes I feel harsh when I say these things, but I genuinely believe if that's the team, then you're looking for a bit of something special from Bogle cutting in after a run and playing like a tap in for someone, or you're looking for a bit of magic from a stack set piece. You're looking for a road on header from a long staff corner. That's how I think you win the game in that, because I genuinely, once you've advanced the ball into that front three, I just don't see the quality there. And look, each one of those players there has got the ability. They play in the Premier League. Each one of them can hit a shot accurately, but I haven't seen it from Aronson for the longest time. He had that one great game against Chelsea, and I thought, wow, we've got a player here. DCL's capable. Harrison is capable of hitting a shot, but it's just too far and few in between. Like you just don't see it. And if you don't see it, then how are you supposed to believe in it? Do you know what I mean?
No, when you look at who plays right back for them, I know he's old. He's aging for a footballer. If you're Kyle Walker and you're looking at Harrison on team sheet as opposed to Okafor, you're rubbing your hands a little bit, are you not?
Harrison can't get past Walker. He won't beat him.
I wouldn't have said so. Not one-on-one like that. Just a quick add before you carry on. 43 likes. That's great. Thank you very much. He's 72 currently watching. I'd love it if we can get that up to 50 and beyond. Thank you very much, everyone. Really appreciate the support. But yeah, I think when you look at who we line up against, there's some players in that side that don't faze me. But seeing that matchup of Harrison versus Walker, that does bother me a little bit. I would like Walker to think a little bit more of what's getting him in behind him and have to worry about that side as opposed to him just bobbing forward, which I'm sure he'll still do. He's still quick, even though he's aging. But I think with Okafor, he's got so much more to think about than he will with Harrison. But I don't mind Harrison and Aronson. They're both, in my eyes, were both good squad options for finishing games to go win you a game, which a must-win game or a must let's have a fucking go, as we've said already, lads. That side there screams it's going to be a tight one.
Blame him though. Would you blame Farke if that's genuinely his team tomorrow? And would you blame him for saying, "Look, let's just not lose this. Defense first, just be solid."
Would
you blame him?
I would normally say I would, but based on what he's got there, maybe not, mate. Maybe not. If you get if that's the lineup tomorrow, and we play well, and we get a point. What more can he? It's a tough one, isn't it, mate? Like you say, that front three there, mate, is it don't look great on paper, does it? Let's not lie. It don't, mate. It don't.
Try to cut steak with a butter knife, innit?
Yeah, to a degree. But what I will say is, I don't want to downplay him too much because Aronson's looked good in spells. Harrison's done okay when he's come on, and I'm a big fan of DCL, as you know. But yeah, it's hard. I don't want to paper over cracks. I don't want to be deluded here and say it's bloody brilliant when it's not. But I think we've got enough in the rest of the side to be competitive, as always, to hopefully get that big fat 0 next to the opponent's name would be nice. Keep a clean sheet. It's been a few weeks since we've seen that. And we're definitely capable of that, lads. We are capable of keeping clean sheets in this league. Keep a clean sheet tomorrow. I think we win the game, lads, because I think we score. Yeah. But concede tomorrow, and maybe we don't come out with 3 points. That's how I sort of look at it. It could be a 1-1. But I think if we keep a clean sheet, we win the game. So I think it's vital. We look okay going forward, but by half time, they still haven't scored. Now I give us every opportunity to
I will say this for what they lack in talent, and that's not me not saying they're talented. I'm saying some of these players aren't special, but for what they lack in talent, they do make up with hard work, and I will give them that. They do really graft.
Yeah, they do. They do, mate. And that's the bare minimum you expect in it of anyone playing professional sport. And I do think we've got a lot of honest, hard-working, decent blokes in there that will run themselves into the ground. Longstaff being one of them. And, I do think sometimes quality can get you can look at quality, kind of think, it's step overs and a bit of flair and a bit of skill. Sometimes just having quality in your role. And if your role isn't the flair kind of player, like I look at Longstaff, he is quality at his role. Like he for me is the one signing he had, who you said, when we signed him, he'll come in and there'll be no transitional period. And that's been perfect for Longstaff. You can see he's literally just stepped out of, Newcastle jersey, straight into a Leeds jersey and just maintained that level of performance. There's been no worry about, house move or, weather or, I've never played it. None of that. He's just come straight into it and looked elite at our level from the off.
You wouldn't be angry, would you, if the 49ers went out and spent 50 million in January on a 10, because it just transforms this team instantly overnight.
Yeah, it's not going to happen, but yeah.
I don't think they'll go down the road of a 10 this season now, though. It may be a development we do over the summer, but the problem with the team right in front of us here is, I say, you set up a 4-3-3 is a pretty solid. It's a lot about the midfield. It's a pretty solid formation, but the idea really of it is you can get different types of forwards. One's running behind, one to drop off, whatever it may be. But the wingers going forward are your key guys. They should be able to stand fullbacks up and go past them, and neither of them got that in their locker or anything like it. So I think you said second game, boss, is like, how are we going to score? What are we going to try and do in open play with this team? Like, I don't look at a team and understand how we're even going to try and score, let alone anything else. So, yeah, one thing I would say, at least it's Burnley. Like, it's Burnley. If it was Man City or Liverpool away, Arsenal away, this team fine. We're probably not getting points anyway. I really care. And also Burnley, I think this team can still beat Burnley. Anyone else in the league, I'll be horrified.
That's what I mean. That's a good comment by Liam, innit? The fact that it's Harrison's playing this game, but this probably is his level. Playing against Burnley, yeah, he's not what we want. He doesn't set our world alight, but surely he can be, competitive against Burnley. And he did score a lot of goals for Leeds and assist a lot against this sort of side, so hopefully he can be hot and cold Harrison. If he's slightly lukewarm tomorrow, maybe that's enough, boys. And I'm interested to see when he gets more minutes how he goes with DCL, because out of the whole side, he knows DCL's movements better than anybody else. And we've seen in the first game, I think when Everton won it, when he almost found him with Everton. What have been Everton? Will it? One of the first game DCL came in, Harrison put a great ball into the box and he outstretched and he just couldn't quite bring it under control. But that, I'm trying to clutch at straws here, boys, but maybe DCL can profit from maybe a bit of a combination with Harrison in this one that Boss Lass's face is telling me shut up.
Yeah, maybe, mate.
Yeah, I don't know. I've just sort of...
mate, that could happen. Yeah.
I think the best, it's either, like I said, I think it's either going to be open, depending if Farke goes to win, I think it'll be dead open. If he goes to just take a point, it'll be the most boring game ever. But if we do go just to get a point with the small chance of nicking a goal, like I think it will be like long throw in central, try and get your corners,
Yeah.
Lump it up to DCL, see if you can bring it down and create something. I don't know. But
just by the way, there, Mr. Whitesnake says if you cook steak correctly, then you can cut steak with a
bone. I realised that as soon as I said it. I realised
yeah, I'm going to read. I haven't even read this yet, but it says Ramazani on it, so let's read it. I know the narrative on Ramazani, but would prefer him starting over Harrison. Yeah, well, that goes without saying, doesn't it? But apparently he's shite because he's got one assist in 88 minutes, which isn't bad going, to be fair. Much respect for Longstaff, says Michelle. Yeah, too right. And thanks so much for your super chat, Michelle. Really appreciate it. Thanks so much, love. Hope you've had a good week. Let's have a quick look at Burnley side, mate. Because
can I just say on this? I don't know why Anthony's underlined. I don't know how that's come about. That's the first time I've seen that. And also, that's going to happen with him. And also, I had no idea what formation they play. I had no idea about Burnley. I've paid no attention to Burnley all season. I just grabbed this off a website somewhere and went out there.
Well, Foster might be out, might he? He may be missing.
Yeah, I've got nothing to say on Burnley. Bosness.
He may be missing.
Like you said, they've got Esteve, Walker, Twanzebe, Dubravka. They've got Florentino, who was a big signing for them.
All right, okay.
They do have some quality. Do you know what I mean? They paid big money for Florentino.
We like Esteve, don't we? We like him. We did last season.
Yeah, there were some bigger clubs looking at Florentino as well, so that was like a bit of a coup. But yeah. I don't want to say what I'm thinking because it'll actually send people.
But wait, is it something along the lines of this, Boss Nass? Jaden Anthony's their star boy right now. Don't have to say what else. It's Jaden Anthony who couldn't get in our side.
Jaden Anthony, he's somebody who's actually one of their poorer players who's actually overperforming. I'm not looking at Anthony, scared of Anthony. There's other players in that team that I look at and think they're Andy players.
Is it fair to say, we've had a few comments saying, especially from Sunderland lot, that front three of ours is the worst in the league, and it's hard to say. He doesn't strike me as a brilliant front three currently, but that front three of theirs don't bother me either, lads. And I know Anthony scored 4 goals, but we know what Jaden Anthony's about. on a given day, he can put a ball in top bins. He can. He's a decent player to a degree. For me, if Anthony were at Leeds, he'd still be our fourth or fifth choice winger. If I'm honest.
I've just by the way, I've got Lauren on the left wing back. I just realised that.
You got him right. Well, right. Lawyer,
Yeah, I got him everywhere.
Yes.
I had a mare here.
So apparently Burnley have twins playing for them at the back, but yeah, we're not really asked though, mate. To be fair, but Foster, I think he's bagged 2 in 7, played every game. He withdrew from the South Africa squad, I think it is. So he may be missing. Maybe they're going to give a little fitness test today. Anthony being the main one. Walker, like you say, he's aging and all that, but he's still quick. He's a bit like Jamie Vardy, still got that pace, even though he's bloody over ill. So he will be hard to get past one-on-one for Harrison. That's why I think Okafor, if he can play, be great. But it's just annoying how injuries already 7 games in, boys, 8 games in after tomorrow. I've already played a part. Luckily, there's no hugely long-term ones. We get the news today yesterday that Dan James is ahead of schedule, which is great. But these, you only need a few key men to be missing for odd game here and there. And with this being this game, is it a good thing rather than a bigger game? I don't know, because this is a game for me that feels huge because it's a game we can win. So to go into a game like this with, a weaker squad and quite significantly weaker in key areas, it's just Leeds' fucking luck, really. Full strength. We're absolutely bouncing in this with confidence. Some of us still are, but imagine a full strength Leeds side now with Dan James fully fit, Nonto fit, Okafor fit. All of a sudden, it's like, oof.
We've done this ourselves, haven't we? Like these, like everyone goes, got 5 wingers. Those 5 wingers, they count in Arison and Harrison. Well, 2 of the 5 wingers have to play. Oh no, this is the squad we've built. So here we are. Like, what a shock! Like last day of the window, you don't buy a new winger, and then if someone had said, then James be out for a few weeks, Nonto be out for a few weeks, and Okafor be out for a few weeks, we'd all have done our absolute nuts. Now, oddly, we're not. But I say this is none of this Leeds or Leedsy or whatever. We've built this squad with 5 wingers, 2 of which are these 2 guys playing. Here we are.
Yeah, but that's on basis
from the
of
club.
free.
This is what they built. This is what Farke wanted. Farke wanted Harrison in his squad. He knew he was playing a 4 for free. He's 2 of the guys are playing. If he now has played,
that's 3 injuries, mate. That's 3 injuries. That's still unlucky, regardless of having 2 that we don't maybe rate. Maybe.
Yeah, but mate, Okafor would get injured every other week anyway. Yeah. Nonto's not had a great injury record. James has had his moments as well. Like, this is the squad. This is what we've built. And this might say this is as good as it could be, and this is the only option we had. But it's not true. So
it's mad, isn't it? Because we sort of do this, and we'll do this when Stroud gets injured this season. What we'll do is we'll sit there and go, well, Stroud always misses a month of injury. Is that a good thing to sort of, it's not, is it like you say, they just reel it off? Nonto, James, these get injured, these get seasonal injuries, or, couple of months a season they're out. We know Ampadu gets it. We know full well Strout's going to get it. So Beal might be, starve the game time. He's going to get a month to cement his place at some point coming into, so these things do happen. So you're probably right there. Our first 3 starting wingers are all injury prone. And now we're left with Aronson and Harrison. So it comes back to that.
Who we chose to be part of the squad, who we couldn't get rid of.
Yeah.
People go, how would you get rid of them? Well, you speak to agents and you speak to other clubs and you get some sort of deal that works for you. The deals are out there. We just didn't get it done. And here we are. So this is all of our own making. It's all the club's making.
Yeah, it is.
It is on paper. And by the way, when DCL gets injured in 2 weeks' time and we have Perot, Harrison and Harrison up front.
Oh, no. What I will say is, professional sport, professional football, you need to have a squad. We speak a lot about, lack of rotation and things like that. It's forced into a position now where if Okafor is out, Harrison plays, he's having to scrape the barrel of our squad, and people in that sort of last ditch number for that position's having to play in the forward areas. But this is what squads are for, and what we want is Harrison and Aronson to play a blinder where Nonto, James and Okafor struggle to get back inside. It's unlikely that would be a struggle, but this is an opportunity. Let's be fair, Harrison's getting scarce minutes, and Aronson at a fully fit squad you'd assume would be out of the starting lineup potentially. This is a game where both of them, we might be looking at like a negative. To them, it's a great game for them. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Harrison got a goal and assist tomorrow. Harrison, because it's in him. We've seen it at this level. Against a Burnley, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, that's great. That is great, and I'd be very happy to see it.
But boys.
The bottom line is Aronson and Harrison should not be playing for Leeds United in 2025 in the Premier League. It's just as simple as that.
Yeah.
Starting.
No, I get that. Yeah. Like I say, when you look there so far, we've got Perry,
Together.
Okafor, James Nonto, Tanaka, Ampadu. Ampadu out injured. Oh, so far we've had them injuries. Yeah, we've had a fair few. For 7 games, we've had a fair few injuries. I'm glad Farke sort of put to bed the goalkeeper chat yesterday. We now know Darlow's going to be playing at least the next 2. Perry's back fit. Do you think Perry comes on bench and Melia drops back out for this one? Not that it matters too much. But do you think he'll be back in the squad? You think he'll probably be back in the squad or not?
It honestly depends how what he's looked like in training. Do you know, genuinely?
Yeah. I've got a feeling, boys, you know, I before the presser last week and stuff, I'm thinking Darlow's number 1 now unless he makes a howler or gets injured. I've sort of changed my mind. I think give it a few weeks. I think regardless of what Darlow does, I probably think Perry comes back in now. Just by the way he speaks about Perry, I've just sort of changed me. He shouldn't. I want Darlow to stay in. I'd be happy if Darlow played every minute, every game. Now I'm confident in the goalkeeper, but I've just got a feeling watching Farke talk about Perry that he may bring him back in.
We had this discussion last week, didn't we, Matty, on another show thing, and exactly that. I think Perry's been brought to be number 1, and I think Farke will get him back in when he's fit. The only thing that plays against that will be if Perry keeps kicking like he is, then it's a big concern. Because actually, Darlow picking out DCL, I know he's not pinpoint, you know, but he gets it somewhere near him. It's quite an important part of our game at the moment. So Perry kicking it 20 yards either side of him or whatever isn't going to help us. So unless Perry kicking needs to be better, but I presume it will be, and Farke will get back in when he can. I think.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's pretty much it for games. So we'll get your score predictions in, boys. So mine's gone from a 3-1. I think we'll win 2-1, but we're thinking 3-1. I'm going to go 2-1 Leeds. Adam?
2-1 Leeds.
Yeah, same.
Well, that's good. I wasn't expecting all 3 of us to say, because we've been quite negative on that lineup. Then we'll win. But yeah, I think it's going to be.
I'm more negative about Burnley.
Yeah, no, I think it's a decent result that all 3 of us said, a clean sweep 2-1. Just before we move on to Mr. Whitesnake's poem and the star charts, just want to bring up the Harry Gray contract situation really quickly. Don't want to spend too much time on it, but the press conference he got asked about it, he looked very sheepish about it. If you saw it, you know, he looked like he didn't want to get asked about it. I know you've got an opinion on Adam and you can give it, but it worried me a little bit. I don't know why they're having to wait till he's fit to announce it. He obviously hasn't signed anything yet. Is it a case of there's no rush, I'll sign it, don't worry, or is it a case of let me just have a little, you know, chat with these other sides and let me see what they're offering? Where do you both stand on it right quickly? Because it'd be a massive coup to get him signed to a professional deal for the next 2 years, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think he's just annoyed I think he's genuinely annoyed at people just continuously asking about these kind of questions about players that are on the fringes of the squad, or, you know, just coming up from the youth setup and stuff like that. I think he has an idea in his head what he thinks the press conference is going to be about. He has a message that he wants to relay, and then people take it from A to B, and he looks just annoyed by that. As in, like, it almost looks like he feels like people are questioning his ability to do what's right for the club, or the club's ability to get these deals over the line. He just looks a little bit annoyed by it. I wouldn't say it's anything to worry about. I think it'll get done.
Yeah,
I hope so. I think when he gets asked about him playing time and if he's going to be in squad, I don't think he really wants to speak about him because he's so young. But I think when it comes to a contract of a great Leeds United, I think he should have expected that chat yesterday. And he probably did expect it, but I think that's a valid thing to talk about when it comes to losing our, you know, young talent in him, as opposed to, is he going to play this week? Should he be in the squad? We've got a crisis up front. I understand him being pissed off at those questions, but I think this one are something that needed addressing, lads. And for me, he just sort of dropped the button a little bit when he got asked about it. And I think looking at the live chat on the YouTube screen, the fan base went into meltdown on there. And I know it's quite easy to do, but I don't feel like he handled the question well, Adam. I don't, in my opinion.
I think he was just, as I think Boston said, I think he was just miffed that people talk about Harry Gray again. I think he said in 2 press conferences now, I don't want to talk about Harry Gray until he's a first team player. He said that twice, and then he was asked about Harry Gray again. I know it's about contract, and I understand that, but Farke likes to answer questions. He likes to keep he likes to if someone asks him a question, he likes to talk about what he wants to talk about. He'll run off in a tangent wherever he wants to go to answer the question he wants to answer. He's very, very good at that, actually. So I think the Harry Gray thing, he's saying he just wants to avoid altogether. And I think the first he was miffed and then said no problem. I don't think Harry Gray's talking to other clubs. Like he might be, by the way, but I don't think he hasn't got to turn 17 to talk to other clubs. He could have been doing it for last year. Clubs, Spurs mates have been asked about him for the last 6-8 months. As soon as they got Archie, they were asked about Harry as well. Or when we get Herbert and Harry as well. They all say it. They've been saying it for ages. So he could be talked to all sorts of clubs for a long time. I don't think there's any issue at all with how Farke's treating him or looking after him or the opportunities he's giving him, any of that sort of thing. I don't think there's any problems there. I think he'll just sign his contract next couple of weeks and everyone will be delighted. He'll sign his contract next couple of weeks and probably get his first run out maybe in the FA Cup, or we'll see him next season. And that's the thing. And he'll score a few goals in the under-21s on the way.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. Mr. Whitesnake, if I was Farke, I would be saying, don't tell me how to do my job. Do I come to your work and tell you how to sweep up? No. However, I am not Farke. You're not. But you're Mr. Whitesnake. And here is Mr. Whitesnake Writes.
Mr. Whitesnake writes poetry from New Zealand.
Who had the better era? It's the question that won't die from Reevy's days of glory to Farke beneath our sky. Since 1919's autumn, through every joy and pain, 54 have led the charge, in sunshine and in rain. Some came and quickly faded, some lit the pitch on fire, some built belief from ashes and took the club up higher. So who was truly the greatest depends on how you see. Is it trophies, stats or spirit, or sheer Leeds unity? Farke tops the win percentage, a tidy 58, but Reevy's name still echoes honours, a legend, non-debate. Each one left their story, etched deep in white, yellow and blue, a chapter in our history for all the world to view. So raise a cheer for all of them, the ones who gave their best. They managed Leeds United. Forever they are blessed. Well, ain't that going to cause a ruckus when they hear this? Well, Mr. Whitesnake, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Oh, nobody mentioned Bielsa. Nobody mentioned Wilkinson. Nobody mentioned Knoxberg. Oh, they missed this guy and that guy. Oh, yeah. Give it a break.
Mr. Whitesnake writes poetry from New Zealand.
Oh, I can't help but laugh. Honestly, what a guy. I love his poems. I actually love, he goes, so much comes into that, writing down, sitting down, and then the off the cuff 10 seconds at the end always gets me. I just fucking love him. But great poem again. But he did message me, voice noted me, were like, this is going to cause a stir. I've been looking at the win percentage of managers and Farke's above Reevy. And obviously, there's a lot of context to put in there with where the games were played. But I quite love it how he calls a spade. And yeah, absolutely love him, man. What a guy.
Yeah, brilliant.
Out to say, I know you both enjoy his poems each week. But
yeah, I'm going to stay quiet on that one.
He's one of the ones, Mr. Whitesnake. But yeah, class, mate. A bit of research.
It's a really good poem, by the way. Really, like the way the poems are put together. But yeah, just hearing those two names and yeah,
yeah, no, I'm with that. Michelle, again, thank you for another super chat. Love you. You're a star. Thank you. Thanks so much. Yeah, Mr. Whitesnake, class as always. Let's see what the chat's saying. 67 is all time the best. Absolutely fantastic again, Steve. What a legend. Yeah, you get so much love in chat. You deserve it as well, buddy. Thanks again, everyone. You're welcome. The end is always the best part of the wedding for me, which is awful because he spends so much time doing poem. I say so much time. Is that telling? He probably takes in 5 minutes, but yeah, I love it. Why didn't he mention Hockaday? Yeah, you have to do a poem just for Hockaday, Mr. Whitesnake. Bill, the best ability is availability. I couldn't agree anymore, mate. I'm massive on that as well. So, lads, the last one is just the star chats. Yeah, so Sunderland fan here, Mr. John McKinney. How many points do you reckon you're going to get without Okafor in Burnley and West Ham? If it's the case that he is missing for those 10 games, up to 10 days, missing both games, I still think we'll get 4 points, lads. I think we'll win tomorrow regardless. I think, a point against West Ham at home. I think 6 is definitely achievable, but without Okafor, I'll be a little bit pessimistic and say I think 4 points regardless of his lineup, boys.
Yeah, I'll be over the moon with 4.
Yeah, I'd be excited with that, I would.
I think we'll get 6.
Yeah, I mean, I think we get 6, but that's because now Okafor might play. But Yeah.
No, but I think we'll get 6 regardless. I think James might be back the following week. Nonto might be back. So might be both be on the bench, might be able to do last half hour or whatever, change things up. But yeah, I think we'll get 6. I think West Ham have been very poor this year. They've been really poor defending corners. And suddenly we score from corners. So
Yeah, we do. Yeah, thanks for your support, Michelle. I play guitar at a decent level. Ooh. How decent is this
Yeah,
level?
well, she looks like she's on some kind of. She looks like she's
Yeah.
performing in some kind of stadium there.
She's like fucking Wembley there, didn't you?
Yeah.
Look at that. Come on, Michelle. That's class. What do you mean by decent level? I mean, what are we talking here? Are we talking in front of hundreds, if not thousands of people, Michelle? Love that. Thanks for sharing. That's class. 4 points fair, 2 over what we need. Yeah, I mean, I say, Adam, I keep going on that 1 point per game ratio, which I know you don't agree with. But if we win one or lose one, it's not the end of the world. But yeah, I'm massively optimistic in the fact that you can't win back-to-back games. I don't think as newly promoted time many times in the season. You're lucky. I mean, Manchester United scum haven't won 2 Premier League games back-to-back since the start of last season. When, yeah, like it's been all over the season since they've done it, and they've spent fucking hundreds of millions. They are shite, don't get me wrong, but it's so difficult to do. But this is an opportunity for us to be able to do that. Only 9 games into the season, we could have back-to-back wins, which is massive and may not happen again. So
I think we go into both games as favourites for me.
Yeah, I agree. I think we're probably slight favourites away at Burnley. And I think because it's at home against West Ham, maybe so, but they're both tough games for different reasons. I think West Ham's side, when you're playing a Paqueta and a Bowen, if they
Are we
turn
actually
up,
favourites at Burnley? By the book?
I don't
Only
know.
in my head.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know.
When Sunderland went there, I watched that Burnley-Sunderland game, and they looked very, very similar in quality.
Yeah, fair. This question, this comment comes up a lot, lads. When we have any sort of injury to that right side, would you ever see this happening at all? Do you ever think this would happen in Farke's world?
I think it's possible. I just don't think it would.
Do you think it'd work, Boss Nass? Because I do.
Yeah.
It gives Farke that sort of like defensive solidarity. Obviously, having 2 right backs, it gives him that. But Bogle is so good going forward. It does give us a bit as well. So for me, I think it'd work a treat. But I don't think he'd ever do it.
Like when he's in the final third on the flank, he's playing as a winger. He might, he's on the team sheet as a fullback, but in that moment, he's playing as a winger, and he looks like an handy one.
Yeah,
I don't. I can't really pre-articulate it quite well, but I don't really like the idea. I like Bogle's right back. I'm not a massive fan of James as a right back, as you know, and I think you saw weakening too. So it depends on who's available, of course. But I feel like you're weakening right back, definitely. And then if James and Nonto's available, Bogle doesn't look him, but it's not what we're talking about, I guess.
No, it's probably not. Yeah, Chris Gearing, you said earlier, Chris Gearing, as well, why are you not called Top Banana no more? And you were asking me. I wanted to ask you. No idea why names have changed and stuff, buddy, when you said that earlier. Before I bring it up now. But yeah, please tickle those likes for the lads. If you don't mind, I'd really appreciate it. We're on 53 likes, which is brilliant. There's 59 watching. If anyone hasn't smashed a like or subscribe, please do it. Be much appreciated. Thanks so much. William Morrison gifted a membership earlier. Thanks, Bill. Love you a bit, man. Top guy. Thanks so much, buddy. Obviously, Harry become a new member as well. Thanks a lot, Harry. Cheers for that, buddy. Appreciate it, my mate. Favourite moment in Ellen Road of all time? So, what would you say? I mean, we're not avid Ellen Road goers from being the age of 5, going every week in, week out, like some lucky buggers. I get to pretty much every game now for the last 3 years, but before that, one a little bit sketchy, just 2 or 3 games a season. It's hard to get tickets. Adam lives down south. Boss Nass, what about you? Have you been to many games in your youth growing up? Anything that stands out?
Not massive. I'd probably like in my peak, I'd probably get to like 6, 7 per season in my peak, and that's when I was getting taken.
Really?
Yeah.
What stands out? Any moment where you were there thinking, chuffing hell, that's good? What stands out when you think of Ellen Road?
I struggle with it, to be honest. There's so many. There's like quite a few. You'd have to give me a minute to think about that.
So mine just feel really. I'm one of those where history, like from years and years ago, it's a bit sketchy. I forgot quite a bit from my childhood, to be fair. But like recent memories. Obviously, like last season, there was some absolute class. You know, being at Cop when we were battered Stoke, that were class. But I think if I remember, like if I'm going nostalgic, remember when Leeds played Scum in the FA Cup and Rocky Junior scored 2 goals at Ellen Road. I think we drew 2-2. I think or 3-3. I think we did. So it ain't too good, but I remember that game when we played Scum because I think that's the only game I've actually seen us play Scum live. With Rocky Junior, the big Brazilian World Cup winner who was an absolute donkey. He definitely scored 2 goals in that FA Cup tie, or it might have been a League Cup tie. And there were obviously some of the big boys for Scum on pitch that time as well as Scholesy. I think played gigs and people like that. So yeah, that was a bit of a moment when I look back. But yeah, other than that, it's just recency biased of winning league and stuff last season. Some great moments last season for me.
Do you know, I think I've probably been to 20 games, 25 games at Ellen Road. Growing up, my dad used to take me to all the London games. So like Charlton, West Ham, Spurs, Arsenal. You know, I was in the ground when Hart scored the free kick at Highbury. I was in the ground. I think we beat West Ham 4-1 away. I was in the ground when McPhail scored both those goals when Radaby was man marking Hasselbank. Like, or playing against like Radaby versus Zola. Like, you don't realize, just growing up watching it, you don't realize what you're watching until it's gone. Like the footballers I've seen, I remember Scott Parker actually. He fouled David Batty, and David Batty grabbed him around the neck and dragged him by his neck across the pitch, but backwards.
I don't believe you. Doesn't sound like David Batty. That don't believe you.
Yeah, mate, like I think so many London games and so many memories from those growing up. Like I used to go to every single London game in the Premier League when I was growing up from like 3-4 years. Brilliant.
Yeah, so you saw some good ones. But yeah, that there as well, Paul Robinson goal against Swindon. You know, that shouldn't have been a game where it were memorable, but it was for that reason. But yeah, unreal. Boss Nass, Leeds are 5-4, a draws 11-5, and Burnley are 23-10. So yeah, we're favourites. Yeah, that's for Ladbrokes. Yeah, we're favourites. I don't know if that's across them all, but yeah, Ladbrokes.
Yeah, we probably must have that looked. Yeah.
Fearing Cullum says Barcelona semi-final for Viduka against Liverpool or Scum Christmas Eve. Oh, Viduka. Honestly, I'd have given a limb to say I wanted that Leeds Liverpool game when Viduka scored 4. That'd have been that'd have been unreal. That'd have been unreal to say we're there. Us versus Roma UEFA Cup, that Australian score for us. Class.
When I think about it, it's like when I think about like what really stands out to me. Probably when we played 1996, when this is going back because I went with my granddad and it was 2 years before I passed away, so that's probably why it stands out. But 1996, Bolton at home, Gary McAllister penalty. I'd say that one. I remember that one quite well.
Well, that's a good one to remember, mate, because it fond memories of your granddad. That's class.
Yeah.
They're the ones that matter, aren't they? I mean, I've never had that with anyone going with a family.
So my dad's passed now. He took me to the Arsenal game, and it's the game that Leeds beat them, and I think they couldn't win the league anymore because Leeds beat them, and he had to stand in the Leeds fans with me. He had an Arsenal season ticket. He's an Arsenal season ticket holder, and he had to sit in with the Leeds fans when he stood and watch that game from there as Leeds beat them, so they couldn't win the league anymore. Like, unbelievable. It's those sorts of memories, like. Poor guy.
Yeah, of course. I love that. Michelle says, never been to Ellen Road, passed through Leeds Station once, but that was early 70s. Well, whereabouts are you based, Michelle? That's massive. You've been to Leeds once, passed through Station once. That's mad. Absolute mad fan you are as well, because I was on here giving your opinion and donating money, which is crazy. But yeah, thanks so much for your support, Michelle, and hopefully you get to Leeds at some point and maybe get to a game. My first game was against West Ham when Rio played for West Ham. Was with my uncle Matt. Your song reminded me of it the other night recently. You said, didn't you, Lee? Yeah. Recently passed, sad. Got his ashes on the pitch. Cardiff 7-0. Oh, well, class. That's the way I want to go. Scatter me all over pitch. There'll just be massive. There'll still be limbs of me. So I'll be so hard to melt down, won't I? Just be body part. Yeah. Me head would just get confused with ball. They'd probably just kick it mental. I'm just an idiot. McPhail was an incredible. Yeah, I like McPhail. He couldn't stay fit. He was a top player. McPhail, really underrated. To be
lovely.
fair.
Like what they call him, pass master. Lovely on the ball.
Great player.
Couldn't run. A bit like Ian Hart, but yeah, technically
Irish-born London bucket list. Yeah, really technically good. Yeah, London-based. Right then, last few. So yeah, that's that one out of the way. I've done that one already. Out of curiosity, yeah, we'll do it. Out of curiosity, lads, how long do you give DCL before you swap him out? I don't think you can really swap him out based on what we've got to swap him out for. In Bosnas, you probably agree with that. He just needs to improve in front of goal. But what I will say is, I think the next two, I've said to you, Bosnas quite chest out as well, and I think he gets a goal in each of these two games. If he doesn't, I look a bit of a fool because I've really, really hammered home how impressed with him I am. I think if he's struggling to score with chances again against the Burnley and the West Ham, then maybe his position is under threat. I just think if you want to put Pirro in there, who's the better finisher, his whole game plan, the way we play, it's too much of a change. I think when we're playing good football up to the point of scoring, to a degree through DCL, and Metcher I think is a level below DCL. So I think it's going to take a massive drop off or an injury for him to come out. If I'm honest, I think he has to just play through the missed opportunities. Bosnas.
It's a difficult one for me because I do agree with what you're saying in a sense, but if we're getting to like game 8, 9, and 10, and he's still on one goal, it's on the manager to find a solution. That's what he's paid to do. And
a solution with DCL though.
No. If DCL has got the quality of the chances that he's had up to this point in the season, and he goes to game 8, 9, and 10, and he's still sat on one goal, that striker is not fit for purpose, and it's hard to say, and people won't want to hear it. But if you're getting to game 8, 9, and 10, and he's still sat on one goal, you've got to make a change. You have to make a change. Otherwise, just start planning for the championship.
I think the only change you can make though is how you change it around DCL. That's the problem, I think, because I don't think the Metcher or Metcher or Pirro get the same chances, or we don't play the same way. You can change it, but you have to change the way we play. So suddenly, what you play Pirro and the Metcher, you play more a 4-4-2. You bring out. I think Okafor is probably our best bet as a striker. I think if you played all the strikers up front for a full season, Okafor has scored the most goals for me. I think he's one of the better finishers. He's the quickest. He can run in behind. He's strong. There's loads to like about him. I think so. If you play DCL and he is missing chances, then Okafor suddenly has to score 5, 6, 7 more goals than you expected. So can you get those out of him? So there's a whole pattern, a whole medley, and a whole puzzle to work out here.
I do think I don't think that's going to happen. By the way, I think he will get enough goals to keep his position in the team. I do think that will happen, but you got to look at it from the perspective of Pirro and the Metcher as well. They're going to be like, what am I even doing here? If the guys, because he's had good chances. He should have scored more goals than what he has, and I can't be told different. I won't be told different.
I know you what I tried the other day. I know what you mean. I think he's got a couple of games now where he'll back himself to do it. I think it was quite funny in the presser. Farke was speaking about Joe Roden, wasn't it? And one of his proudest moments or achievements at Leeds United for Farke is getting Rodon to be able to be a threat in the opposition box as good as he is in the air in our box, which I thought was funny. It's one of his proudest achievements, biggest achievements for Farke. If he can get DCL scoring goals, lads, that'll be even bigger achievement of Farke, won't it? Because he really, like you said, Adam, I can't see a personnel change really being any better, if I'm honest, because it too much has to change for that. So he's just got to play his way in.
Another point is this: how are we expecting DCL to be fit for 38 games this year?
No, I'm not, mate. No.
Right. So there's got to be some continuation thinking, hasn't there? There has to be. He has to have this. Farke obviously can't be going to bed at night thinking that he's going to have DCL for 38 games. If he goes out tomorrow, you'd expect the manager to have some sort of idea of what he'd want to do. Otherwise, he shouldn't be getting paid the money. He shouldn't be in the job if he hasn't.
Boss has know that better than me.
Yeah.
Has Okafor played as a 10?
He has played as a second striker, just above the 10.
Yeah. You'd like to see him central as well, wouldn't you? At some point.
Yeah, well, yeah. Like Adam said, he's the best. He don't like the things with Okafor. He don't like playing centre forward.
Yeah.
He don't feel it's his natural position.
Yeah.
But he is. Him and Pirro are the most two natural finishers in the team.
Yeah.
It's just all the other stuff that DCL gives you, and you can't take that away from him. I'm not going to hammer DCL. He is really good at link-up play, holding up the ball. But again, link-up playing holding up the ball don't win you a game on a Saturday afternoon.
And that's the problem. If you look at the front three, you go back to that. You go, if no goals can come from Harrison, or if no goals can come from your wingers and not from DCL either, then you're in trouble there. If that's your consistently your front three for 3, 4, 5, 6 games, it's not good enough. It's not good enough, and DCL is part of that. The striker I am lauding as very good at loads of excellence is part of that bad front three that isn't going to score enough goals. So I know, for me, I know DCL is that. Okafor comes into it and say, like, you got to have a contingency plan. You got to have, if DCL does get injured, where do you go from there? Do you stick to the Metro up front? It changes everything. And the Metro doesn't run in behind. He doesn't get into those dangerous positions. He just bullies, he backs in very well. If he's up front by himself, you can sort of play off him. He doesn't win. And also, he's not as good at that backing in stuff as DCL either. So it's got to be a contingency plan. There's got to be. Because we've built a squad like we have done for years of lots of different profiles that when you change it, James is your right winger, just charge down the outside. Suddenly Nonto plays there if James is injured. It changes everything all the time. Like we keep doing that. We've built squads like that for years. We've got one left-footed left back. So like we are where we are. We come to the Premier League. You're not going to build your squad in one window. Don't get me wrong. But
listen, like I genuinely think, and I know it's not going to happen, so I'm not going to spend too long on it, but I think DCL, he is built to play that big man, little man type of system up front. Like he is built for those kind of knockdowns, holding the ball and just passing it on to like somebody who's got a bit of pace. I know, like I'd love to see him in a 4-4-2 with Willie Nonto as that second striker. I think that would work.
Yeah, me too.
And people go, "That's crazy." I don't think it is.
It's nowhere near crazy. No, absolutely.
It's probably less crazy to get Pirro in that side tomorrow than it is to start Harrison out wide. Maybe just look at a formation change.
I think so. I think you could do 4-4-2.
Maybe that's I do. I do.
You keep Aronson here if you want to, because Aronson can play that 10 role, but drop into the winger role, drop into the wide role when we drop.
And if it don't work, Farke's got the out. And he's saying, "Well, look at the personnel. I didn't really have a choice." So it's not a bad sort of.
Yeah, but you know what? Like, Farke's built that into Leeds fans at the moment. Like, what a Farke's excuse is going to be. Like, he doesn't need an out. He needs an in. He needs to. How do we make this work? And actually, and the simplest way of doing it, in theory, in his head, is the same formation, change the players. But that's actually not good enough. The players we've got available. So how do you make that? The pool of players are available. How do you make that work best for us?
Yeah,
and that probably isn't a 4-2-3 or 4-3-3. Sorry, tomorrow. It's just not.
I think so. Before we do finish on the DCL thing, there is nothing to say that this guy doesn't hit a purple patch. There is nothing to. He has proven that he can do it before. Do you know, under Ancelotti, he was a very, very dangerous striker. He was scoring goals from outside the box, top bins, decent power. So he's got it in the locker. We just haven't seen it for a very long time, and that's what makes you question: is it still there? Do you know, like and.
He gets a brace tomorrow. He gets a brace tomorrow. I think he scores 3 next 2, and then all of a sudden he's on 5 in 7, which would be ridiculous. Yeah, I think he gets a brace tomorrow and he scores again against West Ham, and all of a sudden narrative switches, and then I think his biggest issue is
composure. Sorry, mate. I think his biggest issue is composure. It's not ability, it's composure. And we've seen him have composure in the past. Okay, so you go, okay, well, how do we get that make you have more composure in more positions, more spots, more chances? That one against Spurs when Okafor won at left, he just sort of sprang as quickly as he could, just blast it miles wide. He had no composure whatsoever in that moment. Like he's quite concerned, like head down, just sprint off. So he's got a couple of headers. He could have brought a couple of them down. Just or head it. Don't head it the keeper very softly. It's just lack of composure. It's not ability. It's composure. So
it feels like it feels like he's snatching at him.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So maybe that's a bit of confidence of just scoring. If he can score a couple of goals, I think he will go on to get those sort of 10 to 12, 13 goals this season. But he needs to get on with it. Otherwise, we will have a problem.
I think if we're sort of doubting him and thinking, "Oh, has he still got it?" Like you said there, boss, has he still got it? It's 28. That number's still low enough for him to have an impact at this level. But his body, he'll have these thoughts. He'll have these doubts. The injuries he's been through, the barren spells he's gone through, being at Everton, lack of quality with the delivery coming into him. He hasn't had, the best of last few years. So he'll have had these doubts. Coming to Leeds, he knows what it's like as well. It's a big club. It doesn't take long for fans to start doing what we're doing now and discussing whether he's good enough. So I think it is still early days for him. 1 in 5 probably ain't good enough, like you say. But like I say, if he can change that in the next couple of games, all of a sudden it can switch around, because he hasn't had a significant good run of 90 minutes, has he, for a prolonged period.
Right, you
So
remember
trusting his
watching
body a little bit more.
Do you remember watching Question of Sport? Anybody watch Question of Sport?
Yeah, love it.
Right, where they pause the clip and they go, "What happens next?" Right.
Yeah.
If we had all DCL's chances loaded up, right, and I played that game and I paused the clip and I said, "What happens next?"
Go.
How many got no? But genuine, how many do you go? He scores that one, or he doesn't score. How many do you reckon? Because he's
Yeah,
had about 8 or 9 good chances,
I think that's wild. I don't think it's an 8 or 9.
but 6 at least.
5. I reckon he should have 2 more goals. You're going to say 3 or 4 more. And a lot of people say that. I think he should have 2 more. The header from the back, the overhead kick, he should have put that one away.
Well, he's offside.
Was he offside? I don't know.
He was offside.
I think he should be on 3 and 5. But I mean, you look at it, boss, and say he maybe had 6 more that he should have put away, or 4 or 5. That takes him to a goal ratio of 5 and 5 or 6 in 5. That's wild to suggest he should be on, a goal a game.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like the quality of chances that he's got in those opening games, he ain't gonna get every game.
Yeah, I agree. He ain't gonna get them tomorrow. I wouldn't have thought. So he needs to take.
All I'm saying is, all I'm trying to get to the point, of course, is when I say DPL and if we played that game, every single person on this panel, I'm probably watching at home, would definitely predict he scored more than one of them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you freeze it, then we don't know outcome. We're saying he's got a fair few more goals. I can't.
Oh,
deny
100%,
that,
absolutely.
I can't deny that. Yeah.
If you landed on this planet and he said is it, and you froze all those, you said this guy's a professional sport elite. They got you show them all. You go, oh, he's gonna score 3 of those at least, definitely. And if you didn't know it at all, you go, he's not a professional. If you showed all the misses, you say he's not a professional footballer. Some of them are that bad, I think, lack of composure. But don't get me wrong, I trust his ability, and I think the composure will come if he can put a couple away. Just a little bit of confidence will make a difference. I think he's snatching at stuff at the moment.
Yeah. 2 quick points before we wrap it up. Nearly 2 hours, boys. Honestly, I start these, I think, how are we going to... After about 45 minutes, I'm like, I don't think we've got much more to talk about, and it just flows, doesn't it? What was the point in Bornau, by the way? I think Bornau is coming as backup, let's be fair, Bornau's coming as backup for Rodon. Biol has come in as an upgrade on Strauch. It hasn't quite worked out for Biol yet. The Bornau one, it's reminding me a little bit of Jaden Anthony playing behind Somerville. He's playing behind probably one of the best players in the team. And he's a player that doesn't get injured very often. So Bornau only comes in if Rodon's out injured. And also, in that instance, he probably still don't come in, which is probably an indictment on maybe how good Bornau is. Because for me, they'd probably play Ampadu there. They'd probably play Strauch and Biol there, if I'm honest. Because I don't know why Biol's not seen as a Rodon replacement either. The fact that Biol is right-footed, yet we only ever think of Bornau as... Yeah, but for me, that's why. And he's playing behind Rodon. Rodon tends to not get injured.
I think on that quickly, I think the Bijol and Strauch are both the ones that go into the striker. They stay tight. Rodon seems to be more of a covering sweeper sort of idea. Bijol's not quick enough to do the Rodon role. That's why he doesn't get talked about at all for that. Bornau's not any quicker, to be fair. He's probably slower. But a Premier League club buying a 4th choice centre back for £5 million is not really, for me, I shouldn't say it's a no, but it's not a discussion point. It's okay. Like most clubs go, well, a 4th choice centre back's only £5 million. That's a bit of a problem, so it's fine. Far doesn't really rotate, and he might get a couple of games somewhere.
It'll be another Schmidt. It'll be another Schmidt one, Adam.
Oh, it's fine, but but if he plays a couple of games, cup games, so Rodon can have a rest. Great, fine.
Yeah, I think he stays. He barely plays any minutes, and then I think next season he moves on, just like Schmidt has. That's how I see it going for him.
I don't like it. I think it's wasted capital. I've got to be honest.
Yeah, maybe.
Because for me, imagine what if you put like you said, 5 million, right? So if you went to a slightly larger club and go, I've got a £5 million loan budget, right? You're playing in Europa League, Champions League. You don't need this player. You can get him off his books. There's 5 million. Go add that onto your kitty for summer, and we'll take him off your hands for a season. And then you get like a starter which totally transforms the quality. Well, won't totally transform, but it actually add to the first team. I think that's. But then again, that's just like playing Football Manager, in it. Do you know?
Well, that's the thing for me. I think that's a different argument because the Bornau thing is Bornau. If Bornau had been the end of the transfer window, I would have questioned it because it was a start of the transfer window. It sort of makes more sense. You're building your squad up. James being 10 million as a backup fullback at the end of the window, well, like I say, covers 2 positions. That I questioned that at the time. That didn't make a lot of sense to me. Go and loan a backup fullback and go and loan a winger. £10 million, £5 million loan fees gives you 2 much better players.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I don't know why I wanted a training video, pal. I didn't watch it, to be fair. No talk on none. Oh, we touched on it a little bit. Hernia operation.
Not bad.
Yeah, it's what it is. He ain't playing. He ain't playing.
Back
Simple as. Last one. I like this. I just thought I'd add this in. Did you hear about this? Joe Willock got lost in the York Maze and had to make an emergency distress call. Not to a Leeds, but just sitting on Sky Sports News. Have you not even seen this story?
No.
This actually happened. Yeah, Joe Willock went to York Maze and actually got lost in it, and he had to get rescued from York Maze. Did Joe Willock? How fucking hilarious is that? That actually happened, boys. That's actually legitimately happened. Fucking quality.
Hey, mate,
anyway,
York are in Super League next year.
Yeah, they are, mate. Yeah. Congratulations, York. Congratulations, Bradford. I'm buzzing with that next year. To lose, I'm not asked about it, is what it is. But yeah, no, happy days with that. Will Barder make 30 appearances this season? He won't make 3, unfortunately. I do like him. But yeah, I think that's it, boys. I think we'll wrap it up there. Bloody 2 hours. Yeah, you're lucky folk in the chat. Who goes on for 2 hours? Who does this other than us mad bastards? So right quickly, Adam, do you want to mention anything that we're doing next week, or are we just leaving it under wraps for now? Leave it under wraps. Shall we leave it under wraps? There's 45
we'll
watching.
Leave it under wraps.
Yeah, me and Adam might be doing something else elsewhere.
Oh,
as
no,
well,
you already have.
weekly.
You let that cat out of the bag. Adam did. He didn't mean to do it.
When did he do that?
He said, "Oh, that thingy that we filmed."
Yeah, he sort of did. But yeah,
That was
anyway.
I knew I did mean to do that. I was trying to be sort of, under the radar and stuff, and I got
No, you let that cat out of the
gave a
bag.
shit, haven't you? So
Anyways, you'll know about it next week anyway. Might be something to know. You may be impressed with it. We'll see. So before I go, please smash a like on, please subscribe and all that jargon. 60 likes on here tonight and a decent amount of numbers in. Thanks so much for sharing your Friday night with us. Please go check out Boss Nass on Leeds. His link is in my description. Seriously, go check him out. He's uploading a video for the morning. Flowers or showers. Make it your brew time in the morning. I'll be
sit your
making
whole
my...
family down. Sit your whole family
seriously.
down.
Yeah,
with grandma.
All the kids down, before you watch
Yeah,
Peppa Pig, let them watch this.
honestly,
There'll be no
suitable
swear
for
words, I
everyone.
promise.
Honestly, don't listen to these. If you've got kids or people, like it's not for the faint of. Go watch it, man. But
basically, him and Priestley do it in the nude, so it's not for the faint-hearted.
Not for faint-hearted.
But if you've got really, 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 really good eyesight, it's you probably still won't see Priestley. But yeah, it's fine. But go check it out; it's really good. But seriously, yeah, I'm watching it first thing. What time is it going on? Just so I know. I'll set my alarm.
Well, I've got to edit it and then I've got to upload. It'll be 7 a.m. It'll go on at 7 a.m.
That's fine. That's good for me. That's good for me. Right then, boys. Thanks so much. Really enjoyed it. Best Friday night show. Cheers, Roger. Thanks for everyone who's commented. Thanks for the super chats, Michelle. Thanks for the memberships, Harry and Bill, as always. Much love. 3 points coming tomorrow. I'll probably be back tomorrow night if we win. I'll see how I feel. But tomorrow or Sunday, I'll be back doing it live. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.